Hello, everyone. Welcome to CORE. This is CORE. Did you know that we are the only podcast in the known universe with 3 white guys on mics? I don't know if you knew that.
I feel like you've made that joke before.
I think I did. I think this is twice now I've done it. But I always like
Look,
it.
it's such a rare observation that, let's celebrate it twice.
Nobody points out that podcasting is dominated by a bunch of white dudes on mics. But
nobody's noticed it.
Yeah, but we're going to bring it up because we're brave like that. We're not afraid.
CORE, bravest podcast.
I hope you're all well. It's me, Scott Johnson, Beau Schwartz, John Jagger. We're all here. Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Hello, Beau.
Am I projecting my voice?
You sound great. How is your how's Canada? What's going on up there? You guys doing all right?
It's getting hot, and we're in Ottawa, so it's humid as hell. So muggy season. Yeah, the king came by a few weeks ago.
Yeah, how'd that go?
And I don't know. My mom tried to go see him, but it was too busy, so I didn't get to see him. He said some stuff from the throne.
Yeah.
There's a throne here. We're a democracy, but we got a king throne.
Hold on, you have a throne that he sits in when he comes and visits?
Well, they call it the speech from the throne. I don't think it's an actual throne. It's just a fancy chair.
When we hear stories about Canada, it sounds so fantastical.
Yeah. And then I see South Park and just go, they're making so much fun of this. It must be so dumb.
They're making fun of the fact that America doesn't know anything about Canada, so they just made stuff up about what Canada is, and everyone's like, "Well, it must be true."
Their coronation episodes where they do like when the Queen died and all that, and they had to do a whole coronation thing. They'll do a whole episode, and they'll do it like with commentators going, yes, the king is stepping up a boot to speak to the people of Canada, like this kind of thing. And they're all doing ridiculous. Yeah, as is tradition, exactly.
As is tradition.
That is some of the funniest South Park you'll ever consume.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Completely not real.
No.
Like the boot thing might be people, like the accent maybe. But
they are now pouring gravy into each other's pants, as is tradition.
As is tradition. And it always ends up in a horrible bloody mess by the end. Like there's people running around with severed limbs and... It's like, the king, the humanity, he's spewing blood from his neck, as is tradition. It's just this great send-up. So, Canada,
it's one of those things,
yeah,
like off base that it's hilarious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like they're like it would be racist if it was anywhere close to like accurate. Like it's just, you know what I mean? Like it's.
Well, it wouldn't be racist, would it? It'd be like culturist or
not racist, but whatever. Just discriminatory or insulting, or I can't even imagine that because we're pretty chill. But
yeah, you guys are chill until you're
right?
chill until our government gets stupid, and then you guys get mad at us. And,
like Disney tried the same thing with the Chinese, and well, no one likes to watch those anymore. You know, I've seen some terrible, a long time ago in like the 40s or whatever. Right?
Sure.
So,
yeah, Disney, Warner Brothers, they were all taking shots. Doing some dark shit back in those days.
But, Canada's great. It's getting warm, and that's about it. That's your report.
Take care of the Utah Mammoth coach. He's up there temporarily while he's off season.
Utah Mammoth coach.
Yeah, the new NHL. We got our new name. We were the Utah Hockey Club. Very dumb. And then they finally gave us a real name, so we're now the Utah Mammoth. And we didn't have a great first season.
Singular?
Yeah. Just mammoth, that's what you'd say is a herd of mammoth, or the mammoth used to roam the plains. It's like that.
Isn't it mammoth? This is
no, it definitely is not. Now that you ask, I can tell you with
a large
surety.
Gathering of mammoths.
It's mammoth
over there.
It's mammoths. You put an S.
Yeah, but you would never say it's your Utah Mammoths. Nobody's doing that.
Well, if you were speaking English correctly, but that's optional in 2025. So
Think of it as like there's other examples of this, like that I can't think of any.
Let me tell you the many other examples.
The tip of my head here, I can't think of any.
What was that one that you had the penile?
Peenies?
Peenies.
Oh, the peenies. The peenies.
The Utah Peenies.
Yeah, no, it could be. Who's the lightning? Someone's the lightning.
Yeah, but there's no plural for lightning.
Lightnings. Wait, no, it isn't.
Maybe it doesn't have a plural.
Are there many lightnings strikes?
Very, very frightening me.
You'd say lightning bolts.
Oh, you'd say lightning bolts. Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't say lightnings like,
No.
oh man, there's so many lightnings last night in the sky.
I mean, you could, but you'd be horribly wrong to do it. So don't.
No.
Well, anyway, we're here. We got a show to do. We got a lot to talk about. There was a big day today. It started around midnight. It continues even now. What am I talking about?
Wait.
Oh, we got to give away the winner. Sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, John. We have a winner. I'll play a little music here. Here you go. We got some music. Here's some winner information. All of you who wanted to know about the winner, it's, William Shatner, get us started.
Oh, Jesus.
That's right. The winner of our...
Jesus won Doom the Dark Ages, as a matter of fact.
Doom the Dark Ages on PC, donated very generously by our friends at doghousesystems.com. Our winner pulled from thousands of entries. You guys went nuts all week. That was a lot of entries.
Thousands.
Yeah.
Holy smokies.
We picked it at random. Seems like a nice guy. Anthony Matson is our winner. Congratulations, Anthony.
Ooh.
Well done. I haven't reached out to him yet, but I will. But Anthony, you are the big winner. Congratulations and well done. That's our triumphant winner music.
I mean, that's the prize in and of itself.
I agree.
Now they get to go fight demons.
Yep, go fight some demons and tell them...
I'm here to kill chaos.
Get that all taken care of. All right?
Nice.
Sounds good. Anyway, congratulations. That was awesome. We'll have more of these as time goes on. As it stands right now, that is your big winner of the week. Okay, now for real. I'm moving forward. Hey, you guys, look at this. Look what I got. Check this out. See this box?
Oh,
look at that.
You got a box.
I got a box.
Nice.
This is the Switch 2, the Switcheroo 2.
Oh, it's out.
It's out. It's blurry for some reason.
Out today?
This is the device. It came out as early as midnight last night. I got mine today via a very good friend locally who found one at a Target or a Walmart. I can't remember which. And they still had some, which blew my mind because most places were, saying they were sold out and there were lines around everything. I had friends waiting at midnight at a local something or other over here. Can't remember where he was at. Some store.
Speakeasy.
It was definitely not a speakeasy. Trying to get theirs. I'll be honest, I kind of thought, we'll get it when they're available. I don't want to fight this. This is dumb. And then he texted me and said, dude, I can get one. And I said, if you're going to get one, go ahead and get one. I'll Venmo you. Let's take care of this. So it's over there right now, downloading the new Mario Kart business because this is the bundle that I got. And I was really hoping that I would have had some playtime before the show, but I got none because I had to do system updates and then which console is your main one? And you got to release the old one and all the Nintendo bullshit.
Here's the big question. How good is the store?
The store has no music in it. But I will tell you this.
The right decision that they made.
I agree.
They made the wrong one.
I agree 100%. There should always be at least this. Let's see. What's a good one? There's the DSi music. This should just use this again. This stuff's fantastic. Here I am browsing. Oh, look at these games. Nintendo, third-party, other games. Oh, interesting. I think I'll buy this.
This makes me want to buy. I didn't want to Switch 2 till you started playing this, and now all of a sudden I want to Switch 2.
Yeah.
So clearly something's happening to my brain psychology here, but just from the music.
There are a bunch of different clicky sounds now, and it's also... so to answer Beau's real question is, how's it perform? Because the last store sucked from day one and was a slog the entire 8 years. And they never made it better. Despite the success of that device, I'll never understand it. There's no reason the store should have performed like it did. It's a small thing. Once you're out of it, you don't care. But it still bugged the hell out of me. This is a very snappy, loads up fast, no issues, no lag, just runs like a store.
It makes browsing less enjoyable, honestly. I
agree. You should have a good time in the store, right?
You're waiting for things to load and can't navigate as well, and you just get bored and you leave.
Well, think of it as a real store. If you walked into a store and you were like, oh, all the cool things I want to buy, there's sure a lot of shit on the floor, and that furniture's broken, and that guy's pants are down, and I don't want to be in there. You know what I mean?
So Walmart.
Sure sounds like it. The longer I described it, the more I was describing Walmart. But we hadn't seen any vomit yet, so it was fine. But the point is, you're in there to have a good experience. And man, the Switch one was a poopy one. However, that one's real snappy, no problem so far. I mean, I haven't really dug in, but looking at my old library, looking at stuff that's available on the thing and their sales and everything. Second most popular game in the store right now by sales is right behind Mario Kart 9 or whatever they're calling it, World Hunger. What's it called?
Mario Kart World Hunger.
Mario Kart World. That's it, I guess.
Let's go.
I'm starving. That is number one, and right next to it is your Cyberpunk 2077 sitting there looking pretty. And so far, I'm hearing really, really good things about how that is playing, like how that plays on the device. I've not tried it. It's another $60 if I want to.
I was going to ask, how much money are you prepared to spend just to try things?
I'm not going to do that. If they had a demo, I'd definitely do that, but I'm not going to pay for it.
$1 million question. Are you going to play the Nintendo Switch Tour?
Yes, so I'm doing it for the show, though. I'm not going to do it for any other reason.
No, that sounds like
I'm doing it for the show.
We need to hear about it. We need to hear about it. It's content. And I heard this week that not only you can't complete the achievements without buying peripherals.
Oh, shut up. For real?
What?
I can't remember what it was, and I didn't include it in the show notes, so I can't link to it.
But
shit. I was reading that there's you have to buy extra peripherals. Well, you can't explore them if you don't own them, and thus you can't complete the game.
That's wild. Does it say what? Well, I guess we don't know. We'd have to dig in.
Okay, so Chad is saying because some Knucklebone said it's $70, and I was like, "There's no way they're charging $70 for it." Apparently, it needs $70 worth of accessories to.
Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour to require a few accessories for 100% completion.
Okay, well, I don't care. I don't care about achieves, but I get how some do, and that's lame that they make you do that. That's stupid.
It's an hors d'oeuvre or an appetizer to actually enjoy it. Why does the appetizer cost more than the main dish?
Well, that's why I want to try this thing. It's $9 to just download the thing and play it. I'm going to try it for $10. And if it's good, I'll tell you guys. If it sucks ass, I will say so. But it will all be colored by the stupid accessory business. That's dumb.
Here are the accessories required. USB camera, which they made a big deal of for this thing, right? So the USB camera. It's needed to play one of the mini games. You need a controller with GLGR buttons, so a Switch 2 Pro controller or Joy-Con 2 charging grip.
Oh, okay.
So these buttons are not available otherwise.
All right.
And this last one's the best. 4K supported TV or monitor. A TV with 4K support is required to play one minigame and one tech demo. You'll need all 3 medals in every minigame to 100% beat the game. So you would actually have to drop for a 4K TV.
That is crazy. I mean, obviously, a lot of people have the TV and it's no big deal. You plug it in and you're done. But if they don't, you buy a Switch 2 because you're just like a handheld guy or whatever. That's dumb.
They're charging for the game too, so you're like, I'm going to buy the game. Imagine buying Elden Ring, and it's like, sorry, you can't finish the game without purchasing car insurance.
Well, I mean, as long as it's like achievements that just go, boom, congratulations, you achieved a thing. If it's the game itself, like I can't finish the game, F that noise.
Well, yeah, it's the mini. That's what it says here. There's mini games that you can't do without the.
Is there a finish to the game? Like, is it something I can beat?
You'll have to tell us. I don't.
All right. See, that's why I want to experiment. I'm going to take a bullet for the team here. I'm going to play this stupid $10 thing, and I'm not going to do any accessory purchasing for it at all. I can promise you that. If I ever get accessories for this device, they will never exist plugged in or remotely connected to the device while that game is playing out of just pure obstinance on my part. I
know you won't finish this, but on the off chance you do finish this, you will not hear the end of it when it comes to Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh,
you finished Nintendo.
You could complete the Nintendo Switch Welcome Tour, but Tsushima's still burning. Huh?
Unless it's really good. Unless you're just like, guys, this is my favorite game. It's possible the game is really good, really something else, really, a happy maker. So
it might be. I haven't read any reviews yet on that little $10 thing, but we'll find out.
I mean, I'll tell you this, like, one of the things, and I felt this way about Astrobot with the PlayStation 5, is when you get a new piece of technology, a showcase that shows you all the things it can do, is really nice, because when you get something, it's like, well, what does it do? And not every game is going to take full advantage of it, and sometimes games suffer, like the PlayStation 3 was a good example of this, where it was everything has to use all the gyroscopic controller and all of that, because we want every game to do it. Not every game should do it. But I think having something that acts as a feature for your platform and goes, you do this and you'll see everything your console can do. I think that's an awesome thing. I don't think you should charge for it.
Nope.
But I think that that's a super awesome thing, and I think that's a cool idea to have, and a cool thing if you're way into the Switch 2, you can buy it, and you can be like, man, look at all the cool stuff this can do. You can show it to other people. Like, I think that that's a cool thing to have.
I agree with you. And here's the thing: having this cost $10, you can say, well, it's only $10. What's the big deal? Most of these games, if you want to get 60 frame plus jumps on stuff you already own, you have the upgrade paths, right? So Tears of the Kingdom, it's going to cost you another $10 to get it running faster on the newer hardware. Or otherwise, you can play the way it was on the old one, locked at 30, blah, blah, blah. But if you want to unlock that, you can pay for it. Sony does this too. It's not that unusual. However, this thing's $10 on its own. I could use that $10 on Tears or 10 other games. Like, you're just really limiting the access to this thing. Like, how cool do you want it to be? And by the way, we have some correction in the chat. It's $70, $69.99 US for Cyberpunk, $95 in accessories if you don't count the TV or the 4K display.
Geez.
Yeah. So if you want all the achievements, I'm still skeptical whether achievements. Some people are going to give a shit. I don't care about that. But
maybe not. It's weird.
It's very weird.
The whole idea that it isn't just there as like an app that gives you a welcome. Like, to me, it should be just like pre-installed, and even as part of the tutorial, teaches you how to delete it when you're done with it.
Yeah, Yeah, it's egregious. I think it's bad. Even if it was $1.50, I'd still be annoyed.
It's imagine like you start up Windows and it's like, would you like to learn how Windows works? $10.
Ben in the chat says he thought it was free with the subscription. So if I do one of the subscription levels, maybe then you just get it. Maybe I'll try that.
I didn't hear that.
I might try that because I want to see how Moonraker. I want to see how this runs on there, and it comes with the new GameCube collection on there, so I may try that, but I don't know. More on this later. The problem is I have very little time with it so far, so I don't have a ton
access to your old library, so I'd be interested to hear, how does Breath of the Wild play, and all that business.
I've seen some side by
sides. Lost my digital library,
that's
so
right.
I'd be real excited to see if I got a Switch 2 and my library was magically back in there. I'd be so happy because I bought so many digital games that are no longer on my Nintendo profile.
All right, looks like we now have confirmation that $9 thing is free if you are sub to one of the levels. So if I'm level 0, whatever the low level is, then I'm good. Here's one thing I noticed. There's an upgrade path for a bunch of games. Like I said, it's usually $10. So Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom or any of these games where you'd really benefit from a performance boost, $10. The game that I loved from the previous generation that I really wanted to check out again and downloaded immediately was the Kirby game. I forgot the full name. Kirby's Happy Day Outside.
Kirby's Big Mouthful.
Yeah, Kirby. Kirby ate everything. Anyway, I fired that up and it says, you're good to play this, in its form that it's in, but if you want to play the Switch 2 version of it, you'll need the upgrade. And I went, well, that's fine. $10, I'll do that. I like that game enough. And I went and checked. It's freaking $20. Why is that $20? For an upgrade.
So they're holding your digital library hostage because...
Well, I still have it. I still play it.
He still has it.
But it's...
Yeah, but what are you getting?
This is the old game, playing like it old...
The fact that he's basically gaining the ability to not have to dust off his original Switch to play it.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, so it won't...
No, it runs. No, opposite. It will run, no problem, on the Switch 2. Yeah. It's just that if I want to have up-res textures, whatever they added to the thing, and maybe there's a ton added to that game. I haven't read the small print.
Okay,
but
we don't know.
The frame rate, all that other all the beefed up stuff I won't get without the upgrade. So
I mean, if it's good, then okay, but $20 it's a lot.
My quick interpretation from what we've seen on the Switch 2 is that the cheaper upgrades are just like up-res, but the more expensive ones traditionally, I don't know what they're doing with Kirby, but from the little blurb where they were talking about it, is things where it's like, look at the functionality we've added and enhanced. Some of them definitely got more love than others. Okay. I don't know if Kirby's one of those, or if it's just like, hey, wouldn't it be nice if we had $10 more? Like, I don't know what one they're doing, but I will say that in the case of some of these, it seemed like the benefit was more than just it runs better.
It's pretty greedy.
It seemed like there was
games will think of like No Man's Sky and how many updates that game's gotten at no cost. Do these companies really need the $20? It's like, no.
I mean, probably not. I think obviously the thing we would all like is if they were a little more consumer friendly and said, you've been with us for a long time. You've spent big money on these games and they are exclusive to this platform, and you didn't get a bunch of Steam sales and you didn't do all these other things. So here's the good news: your game's going to run better and look better on this new hardware that you now spend more money on. I think that'd be great if they would do that.
It'd be better if they did like an up-res version for people, 2 options for people who don't own it.
For the wild.
And if you already own it,
right?
you get it for free.
Sorry, that wasn't supposed to make sound. The reason I was bringing that up is because there is some comparison video out now for Switch One. Now, you guys aren't going to see the frame rate difference because I'm only streaming this back to you at 30, but this is... Yeah, I wish you could see it from my point of view. Like, that's a much higher frame rate on the left, which is Switch 2. Let me skip ahead some. Oh my gosh, that's so much better. You can't tell because I'm giving it to you at 30.
No, I can tell.
Can you tell? Okay.
Shocking that I could tell.
Yeah, it's a little weird that you can tell. You have a good eye for it. And that's just that's not Tears of the Kingdom. That's the older game. But I'm interested in playing games I missed on the last run. Some of them I don't own, so for me, it's just a full-price game, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think they upped the price. I don't actually know that. Maybe they did. But, Kazumi says it in the chat. Companies need to make money. Oh, they do. I just don't know if they need to nickel and dime us, especially when it feels obvious that they're nickeling and diming us. You're shelling out $500 plus US for the device if you got the bundle with one game. That did save you some money on that one game. But then to turn around and say, well, every first-party game has an upgrade, and all of them are going to cost you. It's just a little.
I mean, this is again, people. You're rushing to Nintendo's defense. Like every game in existence, if you buy it on Steam, usually gets some updates and stuff for free, like, to varying degrees.
Yeah, sure, or
how much does Nintendo update their games? Like probably very rarely.
Yeah, if you look at like the difference between a game on my Steam Deck, whenever they come out with an upticked Steam Deck, there'll be differences because I get to go in there and crank up settings that were already there. Right? That's if you're really steeped in the PC or the Steam ecosystem, I could see why you would be like, well, I'm fine over here because my handheld needs are not only taken care of, but if I have an upgrade path, none of these games get extra charges. All of them will just be, I can go in and say, well, instead of medium on textures, I'm now at high or ultra. Like it's already built into these games. Whereas this is Nintendo kind of gatekeeping it all. And it's not new. They've done this for their whole...
Sony did it with the PS5 generation.
Sony does it too.
Like, this wasn't a Nintendo invention, but the reason we can point to historical is when people played PlayStation games on PS2, it ran better by default. There wasn't a patch you needed to download. There wasn't a special edition. It just ran better.
Yeah.
In most cases. And traditionally that's been the case, obviously, in PC. It's been the case in console generations in the past. Now it's something they have found they can charge for. So it is something that it's not unheard of to say, like, hey, I don't feel like I should pay for this. But
yeah.
I mean, don't feel bad if you buy it or whatever. It's fine, and it's not like to dog on it. It's just we're allowed to say,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like that's all.
Absolutely, I'm excited about this device. I'm excited about these games I didn't pick up the first time. I want to play that Zelda game where you're Zelda, the little Ghibli-looking one, whatever that one's called.
Link's Awakening and.
Well, I have Awakening, although it's the old one, so who knows if they've done an upgrade for it. I don't know if they have. And there are some games that are just getting natural performance boosts. I should say that. So, like, that's one. Yeah. Link's Awakening is supposed to be a natural, like, it's just we're going to run better. But there are some where they may not as much. So I don't know. In the case of the two Zelda games, I'd really like to play the new one because I didn't over this last time, and now I can play it with this better frame rate. But I didn't already buy it, and now I'm paying some premium to play it again. And I just feel like those people are probably a little frustrated, or parents are going to open this today and go, I'm sorry, what? I thought I got you everything you needed. Well, it plays them, Mom, but it's not as good looking. I need you to pay the $20 to get Kirby in full 4K or whatever. Like, there's going to be some of that going on. I just think Nintendo could back off some of that a little bit. That's all. That's all. I don't think it's much to ask.
Think of the kids, Nintendo.
That's right. It seems to be doing well in terms of sales. They're, overnight people sitting around camping and all that. There were some pre-orders that got canceled.
Oh, no.
Yeah, for some.
Was the GameStop that was stapling receipts to the box and piercing the screen?
Mm-hmm. Good job,
Thanks,
guys.
Thanks, GameStop.
Yeah. They don't want to sell.
Power to the players.
That's even funnier coming from you because you worked at one. That's funny. I mean, if you did that, do you think those guys are getting fired for stapling screens? They probably are, right? You don't get to stay around for that.
I don't think they're going to fire them, but, I don't know, maybe.
It depends
I've
how
seen
many
people get
screens
fired
got
from
damaged.
GameStop for worse, so.
Yeah. Just curious if they.
I said for worse, for less. Is
For
what
less.
I meant.
For
I have
less.
seen people get fired for worse too. So it's a little both ways.
Yeah, I do like Shatterproof reminds us. Walmart gave free Pringles, like a can of Pringles and a Coke Zero, the orange crush or the orange creamsicle Coke, which isn't their best if I'm honest, but they gave that free. You get a little bottle of that and a full thing of Pringles. They know their audience. That's pretty good. Well done, Walmart. They didn't have to do
Wait,
that.
you got that with your Switch?
I did
Like, it
not,
was
but
in the bag,
I didn't.
or-
But everybody who went to Walmart, I think mine was Target. But everybody who went to Walmart got free chips and free drinks, which is kind of cool.
I remember when I was camped out in front of the theater to go see Star Wars Episode 3: Revenge of the Sith. Red Robin came by and gave everybody in line food.
Nice.
And I thought that was the coolest thing in the world because I was hungry.
2005. That was 20 years ago, John.
Yeah, think about that.
I don't want to. This is time sucks
Think about-
ass.
Think about that. Yeah, sitting in line. What a fun time.
Mm-hmm.
Something. No kids are gonna do that anymore.
When's the last
It's a shame.
time? Well, I mean, I have a friend up the road. His name is also Scott, and him and his 4 boys camped out at a Kohl's or something. I don't know what it was. I can't remember. He listens to this, so he'll correct me.
What? Return something to Amazon?
That's so true. That's what you do there now. I don't know if it's Kohl's. I don't know what it was, but he sent me pictures. They're all camped out with their existing Switches, like playing, getting excited. I think there's still some value in that fun kind of hypey lead up thing, but I haven't done this since the Wii. 2006, I camped out in front of a Target for a Wii in the snow because it was winter when they released it. That sucked ass.
Camped out for a Wii in the snow just sounds like a bad camping trip.
It wasn't great. It wasn't great. And then the one before that, I think maybe my daughter really wanted to go to a midnight Harry Potter book release. So I think it was book 4 or 5 maybe. And I think that's it. I don't do those anymore. I'm done. But when's the last time,
the
John?
one where somebody spoiled it by yelling out the window, right?
yeah. And then the guy I worked for the next day, first thing he said when we walked in, Dumbledore dies, or whatever he said. I guess that was book 7. Also, spoiler. It's been a while. Did I just do the thing?
You're
okay,
fine.
All right.
You're fine. It's been a movie, it's been a book, and it's been a while. I think you're.
Yeah, there's
I
a
think you're
remake
covered.
movie already. You're good.
Yeah, there's a TV show coming. So anyway, John, what's the last time you waited in line for? Was it that in 05 or something else?
Last time I waited in line for something.
Like a real campy, like you got snacks, you got a chair maybe, even if you have to sleep, like that kind of waiting for a release of a thing. Having worked at GameStop, you probably saw a lot of these people do this for a lot of things.
I've worked a few of them, yeah, for sure. The last time I had to actually do it myself,
Yeah.
I did go out at midnight for PlayStation 4, but I wasn't camped out.
Okay.
We showed up at midnight and walked in and got it.
Okay.
So that wasn't a big camp out, but that's probably the closest I've been was to get the original PlayStation 4.
Yeah. How about you, Beau? When's the last time you did something like that?
Never.
Never? Not like a WoW expansion or anything like that?
No. I cannot stand in the line. I do not have the patience for a line like that.
You can't do it.
I'd just rather do something else.
I'd hang out with you guys who play D&D out there if it's good weather and stuff.
I mean, if someone talked me into it and it was like a fun thing, I might be convinced to tag along, but I've never had that. So.
Yeah.
There's almost always interesting stories that go with it, though.
Yeah.
Like, Red Robin giving me food is not interesting. What is interesting is that when they did finally let us in to go see Star Wars Revenge of the Sith,
yeah.
I had a friend that didn't like the way the theater looked and didn't like where he was going to have to sit and went and watched a different movie.
Oh, what?
So he waited in the line the whole time with us, and then he went somewhere else and watched something different.
What did he ever explain himself?
see?
That's very odd.
I might be mixing up what he saw. Was the first Transformers movie at the same time as Revenge of the Sith?
No, that was 2007.
Okay, then it wasn't that. I could have sworn it was Transformers he went and saw.
Don't ask
but-
why I know that. I'm good with years and movies. I don't know.
No, you are good at it. But yeah, he just was like, no, I'm not going to do it. So we were like, where did you sit? And he goes, nowhere. I went and watched a different movie.
Oh my gosh, dude.
And I was like, why? And he's like, I just didn't like where I was sitting.
What did he see? Do you know?
I can't remember. Because like I said, I thought
I
it was,
get that.
in my memory, it was Transformers. But if that doesn't line up, that was a different thing that he was weird about
That's understandable.
Transformers with.
I can't sit on the side. I don't even know why they put side seats in a movie theater. Like,
The off to the.
I don't want to watch like Endgame on an angle. You know what I mean? I'm not so stoked to see this movie that I get to watch it on a weird angle. Like, why is there side seats?
Yeah,
Makes no sense.
it is a little weird, isn't it?
And what doesn't make sense to me are people okay sitting there.
Yeah.
I get in the theater, I sit in my good seat, and I see people sitting in the side seat, and I'm like, you paid money for this. Why are you there? Like, I almost want to Larry David them and just be like, what was the point of this? Just to see a movie? You don't appreciate movies?
Yeah.
Like, you're despicable to me. It's despicable sitting in the side seats. It's such a disrespect to the movie.
Yeah. Well, I'm over this idea of needing to wait out for something. I'm just not that hypey about things, but pre-ordering it I could do more. Or that is kind of what I do now. But back in the day, this is all you could do. If you wanted,
Steam has enabled me to be like, I bought it right at launch or whatever. Right. But before, when you had to get physical, no.
Yeah.
I was just never. I was never that kind of. I just couldn't.
Yeah, even now, so sure, I see people doing it for a console, a new Sony console, Microsoft, whatever, this thing. But I don't see anybody doing. I don't know why you'd go for a physical game anymore.
I think like in the States, you guys have a bit more of a culture of it than we do here in Canada because it's cold, right? I mean, half the year you might get hypothermia, so half the year it's not a good idea. But just generally, you guys are the land of Black Friday or Black Monday, whatever that day is, where the stampede runs through Walmarts all across the country. You know what I mean? Like you guys have a bit more of it's a positive thing. I don't, just let's go and celebrate this cool thing coming out, and all. It's like an event, and being a part of it's like fun.
Yeah.
But I just don't think we have that kind of culture up here. Everyone's like, it's cold out,
Well, the one weird bit is we're into the day's release of this thing by more than 12, about 16, 14 hours, whatever it is. And there's still no big major reviews up. Nintendo didn't do like pre-release review stuff. So IGN has none of their reviews ready. They
Of the
always
console?
do. No, of games on it. So and I assume the console as well, but like Mario Kart World review, the best they have is we've played 8 hours so far. We have a ton more to go. I'll be giving you a review soon. Here are my initial impressions. I've logged over 500 hours of track time, blah, blah, blah. Like,
I think Nintendo hates the gaming press pretty much.
it's weird because the gaming press always adores their shit. So
That's the withholding nature of Nintendo. It's just like, please love me.
is that what they do? It's please love me. They say
What
that.
have you done for me? Everyone's like, please love us. Well, yeah, it's like I didn't watch the video, but there's a Linus Tech Tips tool. There's like, we don't have a Switch 2. That's what the whole video's about. If they didn't get a Switch 2.
Yeah.
It's like, so you get one now. What kind of content is this?
Go
Like,
get one.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna make a video complaining about how you didn't get a Switch 2. It's Nintendo. They hate you. All right. They like making cute games. They like games, and they like people who play their games. They don't like people who write or stream them or steal any of their IP. They're constantly
Or make modifications to them, or
Yes.
get them in any download that isn't from them.
I mean, so for example, there's the website Nintendo Life, a very popular Nintendo-centric website, right? Be like getting, Nintendo Power back in the day. Like all they're going to do is Nintendo stuff. They have none of the new stuff. It's all just like, it's really weird to me. I just don't understand
It
for
is
launch.
a weird feeling launch. I'll say that. Like again, you can get into the minutia of it, but I think the overall feeling of this launch, it just feels a little muted.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's
hypey in some ways, and then
press
muted in
around
other
it.
ways. It's like a weird mix. Of
Yeah,
the
the hype exists on social media. It's people being like, I went to the store, like they're exploding, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But the websites don't seem to have a whole lot of stuff put together for it. There doesn't feel like there's a big advertising rollout, which is fine.
Yeah.
Nintendo probably doesn't need it.
Yeah.
So it's probably okay. But it just, as a result, as somebody that's sitting on the outside, I'm not participating in any of it. Just from the outside looking in, I'm like, well, this seems like a weird console
I
launch.
think we'll be over it in a couple of weeks for the most part because it's just the same thing but better.
Yeah. I mean, in a lot of ways it is.
Camera
Right?
is not going to make waves. They're like, we're doing it a webcam. It's like, cool.
Big deal. Still got to
The
buy
mouse
it.
I think the mouse is neat. You could just ship a mouse and keyboard, but some people will think it's not mind blowing. They didn't do anything that weird or mind blowing where you're like, holy crap.
Which apparently you can do, by the way. You can have, I read somewhere that you could do a regular mouse and keyboard on the things that need it or use it. I don't think any of them will need it, but anyway, you guys want to see how the controllers come out? It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Just go
I mean, it should be a slick piece of hardware, right? Like, it feel good in your hands.
Magnets. I like that so much more than what they had the first go.
oh yeah, the magnets are great.
Assuming they last.
It does feel pretty good. It's big.
If you grip it too hard, it doesn't pop off.
No.
Yeah, that's my big concern, is that if I get into it and I'm like, oh, Samus.
I mean, I haven't played something really hard yet to do that with. I'm going to try that later, but I can't
It
get
has
it to
little hooks
wobble.
in addition to the magnet.
Well,
right?
once it magnetizes, if you want to get it off again, you push a little thing back here. It's like a release, and then
Okay, there's a clamp.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's cool.
yeah.
All right.
So
that's great.
It seems to hold really well. As best I can tell, this has been no problem. I haven't tried the mouse thing. I am curious about that. Actually, I wonder if I could do it right now. Let's just see if it'll let me mess about with the mouse. Let me get full screen here. Okay, so let's pop off a controller. And I put it. Oh my gosh, it's wild. Okay, you guys see my little mouse? Hello.
Oh, yeah, look at it. Look at it
doing
mousing.
mouse things. Hello, everybody. I wish I had music.
Burp, 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 burp.
I mean, even just having John mumble the music's better than what they gave me. Bastards. To give you a size comparison.
Yeah, see it side by side to the Steam Deck.
Yeah, let's see the size. Show me the size.
I don't have my Steam Deck down here, but here is a comparison of the
Oh,
Switch.
shit.
The
Oh, yeah.
original
That's
Switch.
considerably bigger.
Yeah, much larger. This guy's fingerprinting, that is. It seems very much larger. That's surprising how much larger it actually is now that I've
Is
got
the
it.
2 OLED?
No, the 2 is not
No.
OLED, but it is a fancy LED, better than normal LED or something.
I can answer that one quickly because it was a prediction I was right about. So I really logged that one in the old memory banks.
The old John safe.
That'll be DLC later for Nintendo World Tour.
Yeah. So anyway, there you are. There's your Switch update. I will have much more to say next week after I've had more time. with it.
Congratulations on your new Switch.
Thanks,
Yeah.
man.
And to you, listener at home, if you wanted it and you got it, congratulations. Enjoy.
Yeah.
If you wanted it and didn't get it, persistence is a virtue.
Yep. And Shatterproof says
You'll get one
LCD, not LED. Correct. I keep saying LCD or LED, and I don't mean it to say that. It is not LED. It is LCD. I think. Anyway. Right? I don't know. I don't know what I have. Like I said, I've had this for like a hot 5 minutes before we did the show, and I haven't been able to really do anything with it. But, I can tell you that the kickstand's a billion times better. I can tell you that. And
that's good to hear.
yeah, and the dock is a little beefier. Got kind of a rounded thing on the back, but this thing's going to do more stuff. It's got a fan in there, so I think your upscaling 4K business is a lot of that is the dock doing that. I haven't tried it on TV yet, so I will when I get a chance.
If you do 4K handheld mode, you'll burn a hole in your pants.
That's exactly right. Right on top of my peen. Oh, and this is what you get for the game. They just give you a card.
As a Canadian, that might be nice to keep your peen warm in the winter.
Exactly. You guys have rough winters. I'll think of you.
You got a card for a free game?
Yeah, so this is the bundle that comes with Mario Kart World. They just give you a card. You scratch it off like it's a freaking...
But what if they put the game in the box? Sorry, just kidding.
They're also
the extra. Why not?
Here's the only real beef I had with the setup, and it worked itself out. But before the show, had it not, I would be complaining like crazy because it's so stupid. But I've started up and I say, "All right, go through all the steps," and it says, "Hey, do you want this to be your primary Switch? Meaning, do you want to download your games here that you've got up in the cloud and all the things you purchased in the past?" And I said, "Yeah, I do." And it says, "All right, that's great. Let's do that." And then it said, "Oh, you got another Switch on your account that's currently the primary Switch." And I said, "Well," and then it says, "Do you want to change that?" I'm like, "Yeah, hell yeah, let's do it right now." And it comes back and says, "Well, you got to log into that one to undo that." And then I said, "Really?" And then it said, beep, and gave me an error and said, "Also, that one's not been updated to the version you need, so you need to go get that old Switch you haven't turned on in 3 years."
Oh my god, you got to deauthorize your old thing.
So I thought that was the only way I could do it. It turns out if you log in on the website, you can do it that way too. Okay. So it worked out fine in the end. It's just dumb.
But now you've got a like what do I call it, like a rogue Switch. Like they're gonna in the future be like, "Hey man, you got 2 Switch signups. Yep. We got to nuke one from orbit. You can't have that."
No, what happened to my yellow one? I was going to give you a size comparison on the light.
We're going to do a remote formatting of your old one.
John, you have a light, right?
About what? Sorry.
He wants to know if you have lights.
Yeah, I have a light in my eyes right now. I have lights above me.
You have a Switch light, like the little guy.
Yeah, I have a Switch light.
I was going to hold it up so you could see the size difference, but I can't find it. So
it's not gonna work. Sorry, I got mildly distracted. Blizzard Entertainment, video game manufacturers, once again want my feedback for things, and I got really thrown because one of the questions I'm not supposed to talk about, but was in this survey, was what animal is in this picture, and it was a picture of a cat, just a house cat. And it's the weirdest survey question I've ever been asked. I guess it's there just to prevent AI from answering the survey, would be my guess.
Probably, yeah.
It's like, how often do you play World of Warcraft? How often do you play StarCraft? What animal is this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll bet that is it, because the way that AI works now, regular captcha where it says, click all the buses or the staircases or whatever, AI can read that stuff without even blinking now.
It's pretty hypocritical because they're probably using AI to interpret the results, so they can use AI, but
probably.
You can't.
Do you like the theory floating around that Blizzard's new skin for Thrall in Heroes of the Storm, which that got announced a day or two ago? Did you guys hear about this? It's
in our news.
Oh, is it on our news?
Yes, it is.
It's on our news.
Oh, I missed it.
We can save it, or we can.
No, we'll talk about it when we get to it. We'll get to that in a second anyway. But the rumor floating around is that it was AI generated, and it's based on nothing. Some guy just thinks it was. So, that's the world we live in now. You don't know if.
I don't think it's AI generated, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was released prior. Like, I don't think that. If we had lived in a world where Heroes of the Storm continued, right?
Yeah.
I don't think this skin would look the way they released it when it came out. That's my tinfoil hat. Now, admittedly, tinfoil hat theory.
Yes.
You gotta look. There's one janitor working on the game. Okay, like lower your standards, please.
I think I saw him there at Blizzard getting a coffee. I think I saw that guy. I was like, "Hey, keep up the good work," and he said, "Nah." Just kidding. I don't know.
we need to get hooked up with a tour to see the Heroes of the Storm
offices, the closet, the broom closet.
Do you think Heroes has an office?
Yeah, that place was devoid. When I went through a lot of those buildings, and I saw no hero shit anywhere, including the room that was the museum thing. Nothing.
The janitor meme is alive and well. If you go to the Heroes of the Storm subreddit now, when everyone. Like, in response to this, everyone's like, "Thank you, janitor dev." Like, they just it's a whole meme now where it's just a janitor. Like, everyone just refers. They don't refer to devs. They're like, "Thanks, janitor, for putting out patch notes today."
Well, let's get to it and see what they had to say. That's so loud. Hold on a second. Why is
See
it
what
so
the janitor
loud?
had to say.
What was it?
There you go.
Still loud.
Still loud. That was really loud. The people that hear this after post, it'll be all leveled. So
I
it'll be
liked
fine.
it. I liked it though. It was not.
It was stimulating. Gave you a little chubby. Anyway. I don't know why I said that. I'm sorry.
A little thrall.
I'm excited about racing Mario Karts later, so I'm being stupid. Let's talk about that before we even talk about the big games of June. The Heroes of the Storm Thrall Skin 2025 celebrating the 10-year anniversary of the game Heroes of the Storm, which, like you said, is in kind of maintenance mode, but they also hinted at maybe there's more coming, whatever that means. First, thoughts on the skin. What do you guys think of this?
It's definitely out of left field. So let me say, I bought it.
Yeah.
And you definitely stand out when you play the game. Like, it's crazy.
We should mention, for those who can't see this visually, it's kind of like a cel-shaded thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about it. I kind of hate it.
It's from the Mad Max. It's definitely a skin that on the cutting room floor of the Mad Max event. Because he's got tires for shoulder pads, and he looks kind of like a Mario.
He's got a giant wrench.
Yeah, he's definitely got Mario vibes, but also, actually, he's wearing suspenders and everything. It's kind of I actually like the vibe of it, and Thrall hasn't had a skin in a garbillion years, so it's cool to get a Thrall skin. I don't know. I just bought it because I'm like, man, I've been playing this game for like 6 years, and I haven't paid the janitor salary at all in that time. So I happily put some money on and bought the skin.
I think Microsoft treats it like free Pizza Friday. It's just a thing you pay for. It just exists.
I think Microsoft has no idea. Like, I think if you met Phil Spencer and you say, "Hey, Blizzard has a game called Here's the Storm," you go, "What? What are you talking about?" You're like, "Huh?"
Yeah, he very well may be. I don't know. I mean, I haven't heard anything about how it's doing on Game Pass. I'm sure it's okay. I mean, people are playing it. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's always the trick with Blizzard is more people are playing Blizzard games than you realize.
Yeah.
And that's true of Heroes. I guess I've been playing this year a ton. I think I put a couple hundred games in this year. 30-second queues and quick match. People love the ARAM. It's a played game, but only the janitor works on it now. So
yeah. Well, they said, let's see, they're ending development. Here's the Storm back in 2022. Is it really just that recent? It feels like it was longer.
No, it was longer. It was 2018 or 19 or something like
That's
that.
what they're claiming here. Despite Blizzard largely ending development of Heroes in 2022.
Well, he's talking about, so remember, they stopped supporting it, but they still had content to release that they slowly drip fed out a few years after. So,
yeah, that's true.
If you count Hogger as like the last thing, which I don't even know when that came out, but that might be different than when they announced, like, hey, this is we're now in maintenance mode, which was well before Hogger.
Yeah. It's also not exciting to read this bit. I think you said this basically, but it says the blog states that the classic games team.
Actually, no. Hogger was the most recent hero released on the 1st of December 2020. So this
Really?
article is wrong. Yeah. This
2020. That's surprising to me. Okay.
The game's been in maintenance mode for 6 years. We're celebrating the 10th anniversary. That's why this is a news item this week, by the way. The Thrall skin was released because the game's been out for 10 years.
But
whole decade.
4 of them are in maintenance mode.
6 of them are in maintenance.
Or 6, sorry. Yeah, I got it the other way around.
Yeah.
That was a real fun 4 years. Well, anyway, it says that the Classic Games team is combing through the archive, searching for unreleased skins that would need some finishing touches for release. So more skins may happen in the future.
Again, another inaccuracy. What's this team? It's the janitor.
It's the Classics team talking to the janitor. They're helping him out. They're over there going, all right, we did, what do we got here? Racing, Rumble Racing 2.
I mean, the janitor didn't even know how to use Blender. He's like, had to learn to use Maya 3D and Blender just to try and actually. He's got to do tutorial lessons while also trying to update the game for us.
I love how big of a story you've built around this guy that just hangs out in the closet.
It'd be great. You know what? They have a YouTube account. If they have people working on it, maybe
Introduce the janitor.
Like we meet the Diablo people. I meet the WoW people. Like, what's the cost of throwing the janitor? Give the janitor a webcam and let him talk about what he's working on. So we can see who the janitor is.
Yeah. Well, they made you a new little.
People like this game, even if it's like 100. Let's say it's 100,000 players. And I know it sounds like a lot, but I don't think that's a crazy number potentially. Maybe it's more 50,000. Who knows? But I mean, that's enough to put a guy in a webcam, right?
Yeah,
You know, like,
I think it's enough. Yeah.
I mean, we do a show, right? You know, it's not like we don't have to have 5 million people to justify doing a show, right? Like, so it's like, you know, there's an audience, throw a guy in a webcam, like, I just don't understand if somebody's gonna, like, you know, continue working on the game. Why don't they have an ambassador for the game?
Well, they got this guy saying, thanks for all the passion you show the game from the Classics team and all of Blizzard. Thank you. We'll see you in the Nexus.
That's their PR people. It was the janitor's letter, and PR got a hold of it and changed it.
I love
We know how PR works. We know how they work. We saw them in action when we went to Heroes 2.0, and they were coaching. They coaching, and they keep tabs on the devs to make sure that they're media trained and saying the right things. You know, it's not. And the PR people, I guess they have it in for the janitor. They're like, you're allowed to work on this game, but we're not allowed to like you or whatever. Like, we're allowed not to like you. You know, like, it's like,
I would laugh if this ended up being secretly this is Randy. He's the janitor and he's been there the whole time doing this.
he's been there all along.
If it was Randy, that'd be awesome.
That'd
I
be
mean,
great.
I'd love some little insider info. 'Cause all jokes aside, it's probably one or two people. Like, it's just, I want to know. I think everyone who plays Heroes like regularly still would like to meet the people keeping their game going.
Yeah.
You know, I think it sucks that it's just a Classics team here.
Yeah.
Here's some shit.
It's
Goodbye.
like the God Emperor and 40K is just laying there with tubes
It's
hooked
like
up.
it's anonymous. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I just feel a little mixed about the whole thing, honestly. Like, on one hand, I feel excited when it's like, oh, new Heroes of the Storm stuff, right? Because it's a reminder of a game I really liked. Still technically really like, but I don't play it anymore.
Sure.
And it's like, oh, cool, not forgotten. But there is a part of me that thinks, like, you've ignored this game for this long now. It's been this long with nothing, and then you're like, hey, you want to give us some money for a skin? No, I don't.
Just
Like,
give us a skin.
and there's
Yeah.
a part of me that feels bad about that, but it's like, you've pretended we didn't exist. Like, maintenance mode is bare minimum. You've put this game on the lowest level of life support for the past several years, and then went, money, please? Like, no. As much as I would love to say, like, yes, let me show that I still have passion for this game by giving it money, like, you don't get to ignore it for that long and then go, please give us some
There's only so
goodwill.
much the janitor can do. The janitor probably brought this to them and had an ambitious plan.
Yeah.
And the people said, oh, it's a good excuse to ask for money, like you said.
Yeah.
Sure,
But
but
I
at the end of the day,
rationalized it.
that's not my problem. I don't need to know whether that's true or not.
Yeah.
That's not my problem.
No, it's
to
not.
solve.
But if we're going to complain about Nintendo doing their $10 little demo game, I think it's fair to criticize them suddenly come out of nowhere. And
I just
want to
make sure the janitor gets money and has a reason to keep, working on it because they can easily.
No, continuing the story of the janitor, it's a perfect sense, right?
I mean, the bathrooms probably aren't getting cleaned as much as they need to be because he's splitting his time between development and janitorial duties.
Yeah, he's
So
got to unplug toilets. I've
if
seen
there's
some of
also
those.
no money, they're just going to be like, "Can you stop updating Heroes and get back to the toilets, please?" So.
I told you guys when I did the recording with Metzen in that room, it was a whole separate part of the building where they do all the video stuff. I had to use the bathroom in there, and I went in there to pee, and one of the toilets was absolutely plugged, destroyed with somebody's 400-pound giant turd. So if this guy's a
Really?
real janitor, he is slacking because that thing.
Maybe that's his route. I was a janitor for a couple of months, so you get a route.
Do you? You have a way you go every time? It's like a
Yeah,
trip.
it was in a school, so I had to go clean the desks, like Windex the desk, clean the
Ugh.
floors. I go room by room.
High school?
And then I do the bathrooms at high school. Yeah, it was pretty nasty. And then
guys-
I used the Zamboni, like the floor waxer Zamboni, and just, that was fun. It's actually, more fun. But I felt like a big loser, janitor high school. I did for 3 months. I just needed the money. But I got out of there as soon as I could.
Can't imagine. cleaning it up.
Definitely a low point, but good experience, put hair on your chest, that kind of thing.
Sure. Some
Yeah.
bacteria.
But you get a route, but it definitely. Although it's funny because I was angling for a job in the computer department because I was looking for work. So I actually was doing double shifts at one point where I worked 8 hours during the day taking apart like 46 computers and salvaging them for parts to build new computers for the terrible computers for the high school.
Yeah.
And that was fun, but I guess they didn't have it in the budget to keep me. But I did a good job with that stuff.
Yeah.
And then
They'll never forget.
And then I went to school at night. I was working like 16-hour days. It was pretty hilarious.
Jeez.
But all that to say is, I guess, yeah, if he's working 16 hours a day, he has time to clean the toilets and develop.
And it was bad.
Heroes.
I've never seen anything quite like it. Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah.
It was like, wow. I mean, I know you guys.
So the question is, was it Chris?
No, it was not Chris. Chris was there, but it wasn't him.
Okay. Did you mention it to him?
Yeah, I walked out and I
holy shit, what's going on?
Because I went to pee before we started the shooting, and I came back in to sit next to him, and he goes, "Everything good?" And I'm like, "You should see the shit in there." He goes, "Really?" I go, "Yeah." And I think he even said, "Well, it wasn't me," because he and I walked there, so I know it wasn't him. But anyway, yeah, somebody left
Chris is a humble guy, so I don't know if he'd do this, but can you imagine getting a phone call from Chris Metzen, and he's like, "Can you clean the toilets in my building, please?" Like, you know what I mean? Like, how embarrassing that would be to have that happen.
Yeah, I mean, if you really want to do the math, figure out what Blizzard's biggest bomb is. I'll say that's the bigger bomb.
That's the biggest bomb.
The biggest bomb I've ever seen. Whoop, all this talk's made Beau have to get up and poo.
Yep, he's like, I'm out. I gotta poop.
No, I'm just turning
done.
a light on, guys.
Oh, all right. Dang it. I was hoping you had to take a dump because we were talking about it. Whoop, you've shorted your cable. We don't hear you now.
Why were you hoping?
Oh, there you are.
Oh, he's back. There he
you're back.
is.
Your cable's very touchy. You're good now, though, so don't touch
I think
it.
the cat's a problem. I think the cat, he knows that the microphone's important, and he knows when he starts getting his claws out near the cable, I go, "Hey."
I know. I've had cats shoot through cables before. I totally get it. That's the
I
worst.
think he knows it's how to get my attention.
Some bullshit. F cats.
It's like Nightreign, goddammit.
We're going to hear all about that later. Let's move on to the big games of June 2025. Some big ones. Mario Kart World. You may have heard of it. That's coming out.
Mario Kart.
Technically out.
Is out, yeah. Death Stranding 2 on the beach. Some of these are just a few. These are just a few names. Let's go through each one here that we think is significant. I think probably, where is it? Where is it? I don't see it. Is it? This is okay. There's going to be a lot of games in here that are third party, been around for a while, but now suddenly you play them on the
Switch 2 really did something to this list, because it's like, if you look at it just at face value, what's coming out, you're like, Civ 7's already out.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk 2077. What?
Yeah.
This month is a little funny because of the Switch launch. The big ones that stood out to me, just to name a couple big ones.
Sure.
This one isn't one for me, but I understand that this game is massive. It has a huge following, and for every reason, I should like it. But Deltarune came out. Which is a side story to Undertale, which is huge business. People love Undertale.
Yeah,
so,
I think that's a big whoop. I'm hearing a lot of people. I don't know if I haven't heard reviews or anything, but people are excited about it. So
yeah. So I never played Undertale. I've heard it's very good. I should play it at some point. But Deltarune is not really a sequel. It's kind of like a side story while the other one's going on.
Yep.
Obviously, Mario Kart World, Death Stranding 2. On the beach, which I keep accidentally calling on a beach.
It's on the beach. Oh,
which I think does change the meaning somewhat. You have the PC version of Stellar Blade coming out this month.
You gonna grab that?
I already did.
Oh, good Lord. All right. I'm excited to hear what you think of that.
Well, because I played a little bit of it on PlayStation. I was like, I really like this, but I never play my PlayStation.
Yeah.
So now I will get to play the game.
Yeah, Mind's Eye, that game that for me kind of came out of nowhere. It's like a GTA Cyberpunk that's from ex-GTA devs that this week two of their 4 chief executive officers left the company with no word. So I'm a little nervous about that now, but for a hot minute I thought Mind's Eye looked really neat. Maybe it'll still be fine, but there's some kind of turmoil.
That's a wait and see.
Rough.
Yeah, wait and see for sure. But that's next week on the 10th, same day as Dune, which you didn't mention yet. We talked about it pre-show a bunch. Or no, we talked about it early in the show. Where did we talk about Dune?
It was pre-show.
Was it pre-show? Okay.
We talked about it in the live show.
That
Dune Awakening.
Dune Awakening is out next week or today if you're a fancy boy like Beau. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Fancy Boy. I haven't played it yet though, but Fancy Boy releases today.
Yep. Pretty cool.
There's also a few other was on this list that I didn't realize. Wizard of Legend is a big popular roguelike, although it's getting not great reviews.
I have that on PC. Is that coming to Switch or something?
Oh, maybe it's a Switch thing. Gosh dang it.
Yeah, see, that was John saying. So, John, sorry, you didn't finish your list of
like 1.0.
John didn't finish his list of bangers. What else?
No, I think those were my big immediate ones. Actually, there is one for me that I didn't put on here, and I have already bought this too. That's how excited I am for it. System Shock 2, the 25th anniversary remaster is coming out.
Oh, very
from
nice.
Night Dive. I know Beau played System Shock 1 that they remastered.
Yeah.
So did I. That game's great.
Oh, yeah. And so System Shock 2 is even better. I like this game. Is like a weird hybrid of what you would have played in 1 and Deus Ex. It's like a weird combination of those two games.
Sounds right.
And I absolutely love System Shock 2. So I picked that up immediately. Night Dive doing some crazy good work.
I agree. Those guys are great. Devs to watch,
think
not just for
this
remakes.
is, Yeah, I think this is more of a remaster. I think System Shock 1 was more of a top-down full recreation of the game.
Oh, is this less of a total overhaul?
Yeah, I think this is just this is a high-res overhaul, but I think maybe there's less to do. I don't know. You can tell when you look at it. But that doesn't mean anything negative. It's just I don't think it's a full top-down. I could be wrong, but I'm looking at the video now.
No, it looks like a remaster.
Remasters and remakes are getting blurry. I feel like Oblivion in recent discussion has really changed what people expect from quote-unquote remakes now or remasters. So I don't know what that means for future stuff. But I did notice that the Gex trilogy is going to be available. Finally, we can get the Gex trilogy rebooted and on our hands. Actually, I kind of like Gex, so I'm not hating on it. But
seems to be there's another big one this month.
What's that?
The Altars.
What's that one? I don't know what that is.
That's the one where you're on the moon and it's space exploration where you play clones of yourself that are all a little bit different.
Oh, I remember this from one of the showcases.
Yeah.
That's out already. Wow. That was quick.
So it's 13. Yeah, it's coming out next week. Looks interesting.
That new Tron game coming out, I'm pretty excited to see what that's like. It's like some kind of top-down, more action-y Tron piece of business. Looks like it's got some Hades inspiration. And it's the guy who made Thomas is Alone and then the last story-based Tron game that was a little more point-and-click adventure type thing. I don't know much about it, but that looks interesting. Spraypaint Simulator is already out on PC and other consoles, but it's coming to the Switch on the 19th. I have that. I need to play it so I can talk about it. I haven't had a chance yet.
I did. It's going to be on my What I Played.
Oh, good news. You guys will get a taste. And then Front Mission Remake 3, or Mission 3 Remake, rather. I love the Front Mission games. And I think that's already elsewhere. It's on PC or something. That's coming to Switch. But I love Front Mission. Did you ever play those?
I never played Front Mission.
They're great. I mean, they're super stupid anime stuff, but they're great. And I kind of want to try that Splintered Fate Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles thing, the turn-based one that's out or coming out.
That seems like a good potential combo.
That seems pretty
Splintered
neat.
Fate is the Hades like though, but yeah.
Oh, what am I thinking of? Something else?
They are doing a lot of Ninja Turtle games these days.
Yeah, it's getting confusing, actually. Oh, War Torn's interesting to me on the 17th, but I don't know a ton about it. I just saw some video and it looked kind of neat. Anyway, big month. I think your biggest, though, you're talking Mario Kart World, and I think Death Stranding is a massive one. Death Stranding 2, that is. And I'm really curious about it because I didn't play the first one, and everyone's pre-raving about this one like he's found his way for this game, like it's really, really good. I'm curious as hell about it.
Maybe you can get away with, and I'm sure this is sacrilegious to some people out here, but let us know if I'm speaking ill the Church of whatever. But
the Church of Kojima, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's where I was going.
All right.
Yeah, Church of Kojima, let me know if I'm speaking sacrilege, but what if you just looked up all the cutscenes for Death Stranding?
I might do that just to get caught up and then say, oh, there's Conan O'Brien for no reason.
Right.
And there's
Because in
Jeff
general, I'm also curious about it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I can bring myself to find the magic in Death Stranding 1. And so pretend it's a world where either I have no interaction with the franchise whatsoever, or I watch all the cutscenes and then go into 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I think you're on to the right. That's the right thing to do. Because, they always say that this is the problem with streaming and YouTube these days is kids will just watch this and not actually play their game. That's what I'm going to do. You made your money on Death Stranding 1. You've made it all. You did it way back whenever it first came out, PS4, and then later on PC and stuff. That thing's made tons of money. You've done your work. You got bankroll to do the next one. You don't need more money from me to buy that game and play it. So I am just going to... Oh, wait, I already own it.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was going to say is like, well, also, I own it.
Shit.
So it's watching all the cutscenes for a game I own. Like, that's part of what the fallacy of if people see it streamed, they won't buy it. No. I'll buy it probably again.
I got on sale.
And then I'll buy your sequel because I'm actually inclined to buy the sequel instead of skipping it. So you actually make your money twice.
I have that first one. Ziggurat gifted it to me. I feel bad. I should play it again.
Maybe that's...
I do want to play it. Like, I like Kojima games. I have never, with the exception of Death Stranding, and even then I didn't hate what I played. I just didn't care enough to continue. I've never hated a Kojima game.
Mm-mm. His stuff's weird and great and sometimes flawed, but it's okay, right? I don't have any hate toward it. I just haven't felt, the drive. Partly because, I bought into the whole thing of it's a walking simulator. You want to deliver packages? Have fun. And I kind of bought into that and went, nah, I really don't.
I mean, it also is that in the beginning from the little I played. But I think it gets better, but I just didn't get... I just need to clear off some time and devote.
Yeah. You guys, either of you interested in Bravely Default Flying Fairy HD?
Maybe.
I hear that's a very good
Bravely
game.
Default's a great game.
That's out today.
Do not besmirch the brave defaulters.
Oh, I know. Some of that stuff looks cool. I like the newer stuff. But anyway, that's out on Switch 2 today. So, hey, I'm lucky.
Hey.
Let me go ahead and get that. It's so funny. What I'm most interested in on the Switch is the Mario Kart it came with, and then going back to play a few things that I've missed in the last generation. Like, I kind of want to play Advance Wars Remaster, Remake, +1, Boot Camp, whatever the hell they call it. I never picked it up. I want to play the new Zelda game with her as the protagonist, and I want to play that Mario side-scroller with the elephant drug business, where everyone's stoned.
Elephant drugs. Mario Elephant drugs.
I've wondered. That's what it's called. I want to play that. So it's a little weird, but also you have to admit, this particular launch, it feels like N64 launch. There were like 2 games that mattered. Pilot Wings and Mario 64 and everything else.
Shadows of the Empire.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, that was pretty great. Is that a launch title?
It had to be close because I was playing it.
Might be right.
The same holiday when I got my N64. Well, maybe it wasn't launch. Maybe it was just around launch.
You may have gotten it at maybe that came out toward holidays. And that's when because I think that was a summer launch of the console. I bought it at the Ultimate Incredible Universe that no longer exists. I used to love that place.
Yeah, I don't think it was launch.
I loved it. Anyway, so I think that's kind of what we're looking down the barrel of. But there's a lot of stuff I didn't play, so I'm kind of excited about those. All right, that's it for that. Let's talk about the Sony State of Play. They did one yesterday, and we saw a bunch of stuff. I think at the moment I was watching it, it didn't impress me as much as it did after I thought about it for a while. John said something similar earlier.
That was my big takeaway. I watched it and I was like, oh, that was a fine way to spend an hour or whatever it was. And then I started putting this list of games together and I was like, well, I'm just going to list the games that I thought were cool, the announcements that I thought were cool. And then it kept going and I kept listing more and I was like, this was a really good state of play. Not just were some of the announcements really interesting, but like... I think maybe more than anyone that I've seen before, it wasn't necessarily about what game they were announcing. It was who was making the game. Mm-hmm. Because there are at least 3 on here that I specifically listed who's making it because that's part of what makes it relevant. Mm-hmm. And the first game on that list, and for that reason, is the Marvel Tekken Fighting Souls game, which... started and I was like, oh, are they doing another Marvel Capcom game? No, because it's being made by Arc System Works, which is crazy. Because Arc System Works are the people who do like your Guilty Gear, but they did that Dragon Ball Fighter Z, which was an amazing fighting game, whether you like fighting games or not. Like, it was a very approachable, very good fighting game.
I think it was even good if you don't like Dragon Ball. Like, it was great. It was a very cool game.
It was awesome. And they're doing a 4-on-4 tag fighting game, which nobody's ever done 4-on-4 as far as I know. And it seems like they're going kind of both directions with it, where if you're really casual and you don't want to, I don't want to have to learn 4 fighters, there's going to be a mode where you have like a hero character and you have essentially 3 assists. But it seems like maybe it even goes as deep as, well, if you can learn all the characters, it can get real in depth. I don't know how it's all going to work, but I thought the art style for it was amazing. They are leaning full into, you know what, this is being developed by a Japanese studio. This is going to be Marvel characters through the eyes of Japan, and I love it. I love how it looks. I love everything about how it seemed to play, the little teases for the characters that were in the background. This was easily the most excited I was about anything, and the pedigree that the company has for fighting games is insane. So this was the thing I was most excited
It looks
for.
really cool. I admit that looks awesome. Tokon Fighting Souls? Token? How do you say that? I don't know how you say it.
I think it's
Tokon.
We're talking Marvel.
Talking
everybody.
tokens.
I mean, everybody's going to call it Fighting Souls, right?
Yeah,
So,
of course. Yeah,
but-
that looks neat. Did they say anything about is it just a straight up buy it game, or is this a free to play piece of business? We don't know.
No, I think this is a buy it game. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, if it ends up
I'm
being,
sure it'll have. If it's like Fighter Z, it'll be. You can get like a pass that'll give you the new characters as they come out.
so if this ends up coming out free to play, and then you're going to buy a bunch of skins, are you still as excited as you were before, or how do you feel?
I would be less excited, but I don't think they're going to do that. I think it's going to be a regular price game with a full roster and then a DLC roster as the game goes on.
I kind of want a series, like an anime out of this. The style is very cool.
The style is so good.
Yeah.
Like, that's the biggest problem is, like, they will be able to get a lot of money out of me because as soon as I started seeing the designs, I was like, well, I want to see every Marvel character.
Mm-hmm.
So my list of wanted characters went to all Marvel characters. And as a result, if they keep doing it, I'll keep shelling out money for it. So there you go.
Yep, that looks awesome. Let's talk about 007 for a little bit here. This is the IO Interactive, IOI.
Yeah.
People who did, your what's his name? Agent 47 business. Why can't I think of it? Hitman. Thank you.
Hitman. Yeah. Glad I could help.
Yeah, no problem. Those last 3 games were amazing. So, high hopes for this. This is something we've known they were working on for a while, but we haven't seen jack from it. And now we have a full trailer, lots of voiceover. It looks like a OG, not prequel, but like, zero start for James Bond being brought into the organization, the 007 program, or the 007 or 00 program, I guess. And he looks a lot like Henry from Kingdom Come. I'm just going to put it out there.
I wish he sounded like Henry from Kingdom
That'd
Come
be
too.
amazing.
Can you imagine if his voice delivered the exact same way was just like James Bond?
Yep. That'd be amazing.
so
That'd be
good.
so great. Now they're being cagey about who it is, but everyone thinks it's that dude from the new what the hell's his name?
Dexter?
Dexter.
That's what I kept hearing. Is it?
Yeah, Dexter,
Yeah.
that's it. The Dexter kid, the kid that plays young Dexter in the new Dexter series is supposed to be this good dude, so that's fine, whatever. But I'm excited just because it's a different approach to Bond. It's a dev and a team and a legacy I love. So there's going to be a lot of sneaking around, taking shit, pickpocket, throw the guy down, stab him in the neck, get laid.
Yep.
Because
Yeah.
it's James Bond. It's what you do.
No, I mean, I think again, this is another one where the people who are making it really kind of made my interest, because I was watching it and I forgot that IO Interactive was doing it, and I know they put that right at the beginning of the trailer, but I missed it. And I was watching it and I was like, man, it's so weird to look at James Bond from the perspective of like video games, because GoldenEye looms so large over it, right?
Yeah.
Like you say James Bond video game, most people think of GoldenEye, so most people think first person shooter and all of that. And I was kind of like, yeah, it's a weird place. Like, would I be more excited if this was a first person shooter? And then I went, oh, isn't this game being made by the Hitman people? And as soon as I remembered that, I was like, oh, I don't care anymore. I'm not gonna. This is probably gonna be good.
Changes
I'm probably
everything.
Fine with it.
I agree.
Yeah,
it changes
does.
everything. These guys are too good at their stuff to ignore it anyway. But yeah, I'm excited about this one. I know some people are like, he looks like Nathan Drake. What is this woke garbage? That kind of thing.
I didn't hear any of that, thankfully.
I did. You're lucky, because I did. Silent Hill FU coming out. You guys excited
I
about
prefer
this?
to think of it as Silent Hill. Fuck.
Yeah, a Silent Hill game that I think is a remake of a Japanese thing, or is this new? What is this?
No, it's new.
Is it? I thought
new. It's a
somebody
new
told
Silent
me.
Hill.
I thought somebody said it was not, but it's. Oh, that would not play at all.
It's like a new strategy where they don't put a number on it, it's a letter, and
Oh my gosh, this
let
thing
you
is
figure it out where it fits.
thing is jacked.
Silent Hill.
I'm looking forward to Silent Hill L.
I don't know what's happening. There we go. There, so your little Japanese lady going, oh shit. That's the game.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say about
That's
it.
the whole thing. Oh shit.
It's more Silent Hill, which people want. People are into it. And Konami is here to give it to you. They're done with their pachinko obsession. They just want to make great games again, right? That's the deal. And you're why not school kids? Why not Japanese school kids in peril? I say. I always say that. So
All right.
here's your chance.
Are you going to play it? Is somebody here?
I mean,
play it?
someone will probably say, I want to hear Scott scream, so let's play it. But
yeah, people make
Wasn't there a
Scott play
Silent
it.
Hill that just came out or something?
last year, yeah. The remake of
Yeah,
2.
there's the remake of
Did,
2.
did anyone play it?
Yeah, John and I played about 3 hours of it.
Yeah, we're still going to get back to it,
Yeah.
apparently.
Yeah,
Scott
that'll-
just needs to tell me when we're doing it.
Yeah, one day, on a day you least expect it, John and I will come out of the woodwork. That game really unsettles me.
I'm sure we'll remember exactly what you were doing when you saved and called it a day.
Exactly. Oh, this guy looks like Mr. X or something. I'm not into that. Oh my gosh, I hate it. I hate this game. It's going to scare me. I don't want to play this game. What else we
You
got?
watch so many horror movies.
I love horror movies. Love them. Love them to death. You know why? I've said this before. I'll say it again. I like horror movies because I'm not in control. Some other idiot is. And so I don't have to worry about it because I know they're stupid, not me. When I play a video game that's scary, it's all on me to make mistakes, to fail, to die, to whatever. Whereas I don't have to do that with a movie. They're just dumb people, some dumb teenager at a campground getting slaughtered. I'm like, well, that's the breaks. Them's the breaks.
How do you think you would handle it if our roles when you play scary games were reversed and I was playing and you were watching? Do you think you would handle it better or worse?
Better, I think.
Because you're just watching it.
Because
You
I'm
don't have
watching.
to-
Yeah.
You don't have to push forward.
Yeah, and it's not to say that the help you give me is easy. I think you bring more than just your passively watching. But there's something about somebody else. It's somebody else's fault. I don't know. I don't know why that's a thing with me. It's a weird thing that I get hung up on, but it's just the only time I get freaked out is in games. Movies, fine, whatever. I'll see any horror movie. I don't care. None of it freaks me out. It's just fun. So, yeah. Silent Hill F that is what this should be called. What else we got here? Let's see. Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles. I think is how you say that. Ivalice?
Ivalice. Yeah.
Okay, so people lost their living minds over this.
Yeah, this is huge. This is big. This is big.
What happened here? Why is this a thing? What's going on? Why
So for
why is this
many
website
people, Final Fantasy Tactics is the pinnacle of Final Fantasies. Everybody's, what's your favorite Final Fantasy? And a lot of times what you'll hear is, can we include Tactics? Because it is a very good tactics game. It is a very good story. It's like Game of Thrones. It's all politics and who's going to be in charge, and watching friends turn into foes because of their ideals. And what's so cool about this is up to this point, there's really not a great way to play Final Fantasy Tactics. It's on consoles like mobile and stuff. They've done some mobile ports. So it hasn't been readily available. It hasn't been regularly updated and easy to play. So this is actually kind of two games in one. They're doing a remastered version that kind of makes modifications to the game, including voice acting, which they've got a whole big voice cast. As
Ben Starr's in there.
Ben Starr, ready to come back into Final Fantasy. Another nice thing, they got the voice actors who play Cloud and Aerith for the remake are doing their voices in this game as well, which may be a little bit of a weird thing that Aerith is in there, because I don't think Aerith was in the original Tactics. I know Cloud made an appearance. He was like an unlockable character, but I don't know if she was in there. But they're doing their vocal talents for the game as well, so that's very cool. But then they also have done just here's a port, problems and all, because the game, it's not perfect. They're doing a regular port of the game included with it too. So you kind of get both. And I think that's what people are so excited about, because you kind of get that retooled, remade bit with voice acting and all of that. Oh, she is in it. You have to buy a flower from her to get Cloud. Okay, that's what chat says. So yeah, not many lines, but she's gonna be in there, and they're bringing them over from the remake to do their voices there, which is very, very cool.
It is pretty cool. I just noticed something, though. We're down to that game. So far, we talked about Marvel Talking Fighting Souls, 007 First Light, Silent Hill, F.U., Final Fantasy Tactics, the Avalis Chronicles. So far, all of these are coming to everything, not just the PlayStation.
Yeah.
And that is my only real beef with PlayStation Directs, or their, whatever they call it, states of play. State of plays? States of play. How do you say that? Mammoths? It's mammoths.
State of plays, mammoth.
Mammoths.
States of play. States of play.
States of play, right?
No, states of play would be multiple different states. You're talking about a show, so it'd be state of plays.
But
sounds bad.
But the states,
I think it's still just state of play, because that's what
it's
the
like
title
a proper
is.
it's a term of art proper noun, like it's like quote state of play quote.
yeah,
so
but unless you're doing
multiple
I see what you mean.
editions of it.
Like Mammoth.
States of play would be like different states of play, like offense and defense, diving, and
So state of play as in plural, like mammoth in plural. I'm just going back to that to prove the mammoth thing out.
It's all about mammoth. Yeah, this is exactly like mammoth.
Let's get back to sports here on the show. Anyway, so far this is, and I don't think we're done yet with ones that are multi-platform, and it's fine. I'm not saying that everything that is Sony thing any more than Microsoft does this, because they don't, neither does Nintendo, but you usually have a little more that's like very exclusively Sony, and none of these are. That Final Fantasy thing is confirmed for everything. Luminous Arise is the next one. That might be only PlayStation, but I have a feeling it won't. And I know the Mortal Kombat and some of the other stuff we're going to talk about. I guess the fight stick.
Yeah, I bet the fight stick is. Although you could probably pair it with your PC.
That's a good point. Yeah, and maybe this is good. Maybe this is what we want. Maybe Sony fans want this. They want more inclusive third-party business, and their first-party stuff is just whenever. I don't know.
I mean, I think that's the way it should be. I get what you're saying, because I had the same exact thought of because they don't really advertise it very openly. They want you to think that this is going to be Sony only, and it was kind of annoying to at the end start the okay, is this coming to everything, or is this just Sony? But at the same time, I think this is what we want. I think things being in more places is great and is beneficial. And so I'm kind of all for it, but I do get what you mean, where it's so far none of these are Sony exclusive.
Yeah, none of these are going to make me rush out and buy a PlayStation. Although I guess some people probably see these events and go, that's all.
But if they play on PlayStation, that's...
Well, then they've got it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But if they don't have one yet, let's say they're on the fence still. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do. I shouldn't speak for people.
Concord.
But Luminous Horizon is happening, which I love Luminous, so let's go.
It's so funny when it started and they were showing the trailer for it. I thought that was just an intro video that they were playing. And I was sitting here by myself. I said this to myself out loud.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, they're really playing some Luminous ass music to launch this state of play. And then it turned into a Luminous trailer. I was like, wow. Nailed it. It sounds exactly like a Luminous song.
Yep.
And it does. But I do like Luminous an awful
Yeah,
lot,
I'm a big fan. This is still the high point of the entire PSP library, arguably. And they're bringing it back, baby. You're going to get to play a very cool, moderned up looking thing. This guy looks like Alan Wake having a dream, but whatever. It's cool. Give me some squares. Give me a line that passes by and makes it so I have to do stuff to the beat. And you've got yourself a Luminous customer. I'll buy it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Apparently, it was also by the people who made Tetris Effect. Which is also very
Shit. Are you serious? Okay.
Yeah.
Another dev, a reason that I will be more interested. Because I love Tetris Effect is so good, dude.
good. Yeah.
That's exciting. I didn't know that. Damn. All right. Well, there you go. It's got a jellyfish.
Nailed it.
Nailed it, guys. You did it. All right. MK Legacy Collection. This is for Digital Eclipse. And you might say, wait, where have I heard of that before? You know these guys from that like Atari, not Generations, what they call it. Atari.
Oh, I played it. It was awesome.
It's so cool because it's like mix of documentary and games. And you play them and you watch history
the
and then you
Atari
play.
50, the anniversary celebration.
That's what it is. It's those guys. And they're doing this with Mortal Kombat, which is badass.
I am so excited for this.
Yeah, I can't wait
in a
for
way
this.
that I cannot put into words, but I will attempt to. The way they make their games both really good, compelling ports of the game, so you have a cool way to play these games, but also kind of behind the scenes biographical experiences showing you a bunch of like behind the scenes stuff on the games. And it's all about Mortal Kombat, which is one of my favorite things to learn and talk about. I don't know why this game was so formative for me, but it 100% was. And anybody's like, hey, today we're going to take a deep dive into Mortal Kombat. I'm like, I'm in. Okay, let's hear it.
Sign me up.
I can't get enough of it. So please. So this is insane. This is so cool.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
Yeah, it's coming out this year.
Yeah.
This year, Scott.
There are even the handheld
And-
editions. Look at this.
Yeah, you get the shitty handheld versions too.
Yeah. And they all play online, by the way. All of them.
Yeah.
I'm stoked. This went from I didn't know. Oh, look, and you get Ed Boon and the Zippy Head. What's his name? Ed Boon and Tobias.
Yeah.
Zippy head.
I couldn't think of his name. But those two,
Zybot.
you get to see those guys. Like you haven't heard from the one guy for ages because he kind of went away. Toasty, that guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's exciting. I'm jazzed about that. Very cool. All right, let's rip through the rest of these. PlayStation made a fight stick, rather. We put. People keep saying flight by accident. I keep doing it too. They didn't make a flight stick. Don't get excited. You're not gonna be in a cockpit. Fight stick. All right.
Yeah.
Probably
Like
to
an
coincide with
an
that Marvel
arcade
thing.
stick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it looks nice. It looks like a PlayStation 5 peripheral. So that's cool. I don't have a picture of it here. Hold on.
Made by Sony. And like I said, probably if you have a way to hook your PS5 controller to your PC, probably going to find a way for this to work on the PC as well.
Probably.
It kind of looks like a kitchen appliance. I didn't see it till just now.
I mean, it looks like I say.
I mean, there's some dope ass fight sticks out there. I don't know.
Yeah, but if you're like real hardcore on like I want consistent hardware across the board, then I could see why you would jump at this. But this isn't for me. I would probably get something third party or not care. But it's somebody who's really into fighting.
People might like it. I mean, they make weird things. It's cool. Let's celebrate
Yeah.
it. I'm not trying to be negative. I just think the aesthetic's pretty.
It's just boring. That's just
boring,
not exciting to look at. I mean, it's consistent, and I think that's cool. I like that all the peripherals
If
kind
it
of
works
match.
great and people like it, then that's amazing.
2026 on that one, so you're not going to get that soon, but soonish. Bloodstained: The Scarlet Engagement. This is on the heels of Bloodstained: The Dirty Monkey. What was that one called?
Bloodstained.
The
something.
Symphony of the Night.
Symphony
Nope.
of Night, maybe.
Nope, not Symphony. Not Symphony of the Night.
Ritual of the
other-
Night. Ritual of the Night. That's it.
Yeah.
I knew there was something of the night. Anyway, this is, Symphony of the Night is connected to all this because it's people who made that. And I thought that first one was pretty good, although I didn't play all the way through. A big shock, everybody. But the Scarlet Engagement is a follow-up to that. So you want more? Good news. They're making it. Side-scroll your way into Metroidvania heaven. Neo 3 or Neo, huh?
I put this on because I know this was a huge franchise for some people. I never played it. Did you ever play any of the Neo games?
Yeah, I haven't, Beau. Did you play? They're Souls-likes,
No.
right? Kind of Soulsy, or no? Do I have that
I
wrong?
believe
they're more like
I think they're
Onimusha
just
or something like that.
third-person action games. I
Yeah.
believe.
Oh, I thought they were Souls-likes. Okay.
No, I think they're that Onimusha game, if you remember.
Here it is. Look at this guy. He's like, oh, I found a glowy bit. Oh, it's Ninja Theory? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I could have sworn this was... See, look at it. That looks very Soulsy.
Well,
there's lots of third-person
Souls
action
games look like
That's not-
third-person action.
I
games,
know,
which
I'm
used to be a very common genre.
I'm kind of part of the problem here. I realize that as I'm saying it. But
that's not what makes it a Souls.
But I could have sworn that these were categorized that way. Maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, in marketing or in reviews, people have probably said this has a Souls-like quality or something. Who knows?
Yeah.
But no, I don't. There's very specific mechanics. It's not that it's a third-person action game. Those have existed since PlayStation 1. It's a set of esoteric mechanics that are involved.
And also Ninja Theory, they make games that are, I don't know, they're more action based and less
They can be
punishing.
hard games too. It's not just that it's hard. They're definitely hard third-person action games. It's the combination of character progression, the rune system, having its actual RPG with stats that affect the character, which aren't really a feature in a lot of third-person action games, stuff like that.
Well, I found a quote that says, this is sort of interesting. Team Ninja was given the job. They wanted to create this game series. The decision to give the project to TN or Team Ninja was heavily influenced by the success of Dark Souls and similar titles, dubbed as Massacre due to their difficulty yet rewarding action gameplay. Many of Team Ninja's members were fans of the Dark Souls series and credited that surge in popularity with saving Nihon from possible cancellation. So maybe there's some of that in there. I
it
knew
could be
I'd
they're
read that
leaning
somewhere.
into it. Yeah.
Combat oh, here it is. While the combat was extensively influenced by the Souls games, their use of loot was more heavily influenced by Diablo. So they're mixing stuff here.
Yeah, it's a mix.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I'm thinking of is... Never mind. Wrong game. Thinking of a totally different game. Forget everything I've said.
Everything?
Everything I've said all day, this entire show.
Throw it all out?
Toss it. The whole thing, just toss it.
All
Also,
right.
what the hell is on my screen? Okay, there it goes.
I don't know. Consider it tossed.
I don't know what's going on there. All right, let's talk about this Witcher 4 business. Unreal 5 showcase stuff. There's more progress on Witcher 4 than we thought, actually. They're showing some pretty stunning shit in this game so far, and it is basically a tech demo on a base PS5 running at 60 frames with ray tracing. Imagine how much nicer this will look on PCs with all that stuff doubled or tripled, and it looks pretty good. They said they're making big progress, and I really liked what they showed. So what else do you guys want to say about this? I think it was cool.
I want to point out that my favorite thing about this, as silly as it is, there's a part where Siri bumps into somebody carrying apples, and not only does a little kid run and jack one of the apples, but then a bunch of pigs come running over to eat some apples too. And I thought the pigs really stole the show for me. I really liked it.
Wow, that's great.
No, it's in there. It looks good. I mean, that's the sort of stuff though that makes a world immersive. Whether or not that's in the actual game, it's not like I'm gonna play The Witcher and be like, I put an apple on the ground and the piggies didn't eat it. The bullshit game of the year. But like that sort of stuff is what makes the world immersive. And the thing about CD Projekt Red games that I think sticks with me the most, at least it's true in Cyberpunk 2077, it's definitely true in Witcher 3, is the world. Like when I think about The Witcher 3, I don't think about a boss fight. I don't think about I certainly don't think about the fighting system. I think about like standing in front of that town, the Baron's town, and watching a storm roll in over the forest and how that looked and how that felt. Like that world felt real to me. Cyberpunk 2077, the same thing. Like I tend to think about like, oh, that city feels real to me.
Yeah.
And so I think this looks incredible.
Yeah.
And hopefully, I see chat already saying it, the Wraith. Hopefully it's good at release. I would love for it to be good at release.
That'd be amazing, right? Because
can you imagine if it was good right out of the gate?
Witcher 3 had issues at launch, so obviously, famously, Cyberpunk was a giant mess at launch, so I understand the trepidation, but I don't know. There's a lot of talk that them moving to this engine, moving to Unreal, is freeing them up greatly, because they were trying to be one of those companies that had like Frostbite for EA or any number of other engines that are lesser thans or whatever. They're all trying to build their own cool thing, and them giving up on that and saying, from now on, we're working in Unreal for this, and the next Cyberpunk has freed them up, given them the tools they want that they don't have to make themselves, and just make the creativity be like point in their development process. And I just think that's already on display here. It looks freaking great to me.
It looks really good.
I'm stoked. I'm so stoked. And I wasn't even thinking
you
that much
watched
about
it, right, Beau? Because I thought you shared it.
Yeah, I did watch the tech demo. It was good.
That's good, right? Looks nice. Yeah.
I'm stoked for Witcher 4. It looks like a lot of fun.
I always love hearing Polish accents is the other thing. Really like those guys over there at the Project Red. Yeah.
No.
Anyway, Witcher 4. Siri, Yennefer boobs. Oh, she's probably not around though, right? Yennefer.
I'm expecting. I don't remember what. I never finished Witcher 3, so I don't know if they died or not. If anyone died.
I don't remember what happened to Yennefer. Maybe
I know
okay.
somebody. I saw a clip of somebody during the Andor press tour asking the actress who does Yennefer's voice if she was going to be back.
What'd she say?
Because she said, "I don't know."
I was hoping she let something slip.
But the funniest thing was Ben Mendelsohn sitting next to her was like, "You're in The Witcher?" And she's like, "Yeah, I play Yennefer." He was like, "I didn't know that."
Yeah, because he's like
really
that guy plays.
it.
He's a nerd.
Was,
Mendelsohn, he's great.
He seemed excited.
Look, the other thing I noticed about it, and I thought of you immediately, and I'm not saying The Witcher 3 didn't do this too, but the world is so colorful. Like the red rock in this mixed with green and then snow and then the gray stone. Like this is a colorful game.
I know. I didn't play it this week, but I feel like we've talked about Kingdom Come Deliverance a couple weeks in a row.
Yeah.
And one thing I just very specifically want to shout out is that's a game that looks at times photorealistic and yet still colorful at the same time, and how much I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's a
same thing when I watched
European countryside,
Mm-hmm. Look at this, though. Oh, my gosh. I can't wait for Witcher 4. What's the holdup?
No, don't force it out early, Scott.
I just want it. I want to play
Let it bake. We can't go through Cyberpunk again.
There's nothing to play. It's like literally not done. You can't play it.
Well, that's true. That's true. But this looks so good so far. I got real good feelings about it. So bring it on, guys.
Yeah. It's gonna be good. I think seeing that little bit has helped stoke hype for it for sure.
Oh yeah, it was the right thing to do to get some stuff out. All right, one last thing before we take our break. Summer Games Fest starts tomorrow and is running kind of all weekend, and it is a huge bunch of different content. We're going to be talking over and doing a live stream talkover event of the main showcase tomorrow at 3 p.m. Mountain Time. That's 2 p.m. Pacific. Beau will be there for hopefully part of it. He might come late. We got some scheduled stuff going on, but anyway, John and I will be there for sure, and then Beau later, and we'll be looking at whatever they're going to announce this week. It's kind of a big week, kind of across the board. There's all sorts of shit going on. Big new release for Nintendo, this Witcher stuff, and now a whole bunch of potential new content showing up tomorrow. Going to be wild. So it's going to feel like E3 for a few days, and we're going to give as much attention to as much of that content as possible. certainly the best we can with our schedules, but, stay tuned. Tomorrow for sure, though, 3 p.m. Mountain Time, me, John, and Beau covering the Summer Games Fest showcase. It's going to be fun. Now, showcases or is showcase a singular use?
Pronounced mammoth.
Showcases.
Mamai.
I'm going to attend 3 showcases.
There you go. But I'm only going to one showcase. Yeah, so okay, we got it worked out. The Mammoth are playing this weekend. The Mammoths are...
Well, I'm going to visit the Mammoths. It's a family whose last name is Mammoth.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay. Well, in that case, we're good. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we got a Dear Martha. We got the games we played this week, and we got a fantastic email that we're going to read here on the show. So come on back. Stay tuned. Well, let's get back to it here. We got a thing. Okay, we're back, everybody. Welcome back. We've all peed and cleaned our hands, hopefully, and done all that stuff. So now it's time for us to do Dear Martha. And John, I believe it says here we're going to have a friendly competition this week.
Yeah, that's right. We're doing Find the Flaw again.
Okay.
Chad asked earlier, do you actually watch Actually from Dropout? Yes, I do. And so I stole their game, and we call it Find the Flaw around here. And basically what it is, if this is your first time, I'm going to read a Dear Martha letter. Somewhere in there is a factual inaccuracy. And as beings on the internet know, we must correct that immediately.
Yeah.
It cannot stand.
No.
The line...
This is the internet. Its accuracy is key. So
that's right.
Yeah.
So then these two are going to race to see if they can tell me what was wrong. We got a winner last time.
Yeah.
You both knew the answer, and Beau just got to it first.
Yeah, that was great.
Beau famously has 1.5 points now in this race.
Yep.
How much does Scott have?
Just killing it.
I don't
0
know.
points.
0 points.
Scott's at a big goose egg. You got 1.5 points.
Yeah. Well, because you got him. You won the 1.5 last week, and so I haven't had a chance to score since. So we're going to score today.
All right. I'll try to be good sportsmanship. I'll give you some time to buzz in this week.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
This week's is about, because I got excited about Star Wars this week. Naturally, I assumed you guys did as well and are now up on all your Star Wars knowledge. So it's about Star Wars.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'm feeling all that confident, but I'm going to do my best.
You shouldn't be. I think this one's tough. Maybe. Might be actually easy. We'll see.
Okay. Let's hit the music. Let's see what happens, and everyone just hope for the best.
My dearest Martha, Andor is an undeniable triumph for Star Wars, unless you are a sad loser. But before Rogue One showed us the tragedy of the original Death Star plan's theft, we had one man, Kyle Katarn. Now considered Legends continuity, Kyle Katarn was a former Imperial officer who turned to a life as a freelancer and eventual rebel. He made his debut appearance in Star Wars: Dark Forces. While he would go on to become a Jedi Knight and eventual Master, we need to talk about his first interactive adventure. Released on PC in 1995 using the 3D Jedi engine, Dark Forces was a first-person shooter set in the Star Wars universe. It saw protagonist Kyle Katarn learn of the Dark Trooper project and bring it to an explosive end before finally stealing the original Death Star plans from an Imperial base on the planet Danuta at the game's climax. His legend would only grow from there in both games and books, where he'd achieve accolades such as becoming a Jedi under Luke Skywalker's new Jedi Order. He also had some notable Jedi apprentices like Jaden Core and Mara Jade. While Kyle would eventually fall away under current Star Wars canon, there was a loving tribute to the character in the form of Cassian Andor's blaster. In Andor, it is a MW-20 Briar pistol, which is based on the K-16 Briar pistol used by, you guessed it, Kyle Katarn. Anyway, I have about 15 minutes left of Rogue One to go, so I need to wrap this up as I eagerly await more incredible adventures with this amazing character. Yours in this life and the next, Old Yeller 62.
Ooh, Old Yeller. That implies something.
No.
No?
I'll just let me save you. The The name has nothing to do with it.
So they don't have to. Somebody doesn't get put down or buried, and kids cry and stuff like that. That doesn't happen.
Well, I mean, Rogue One has a bit of a downer ending.
Yeah, it does. All right, fair enough. My knowledge of him is limited. I played that game. I know there's some Andor connections, so all your Andor talk's probably correct. I'm going to say your flaw was the Mara Jade stuff. He doesn't know her. They've never met.
Incorrect.
Damn it.
He was the master to Mara Jade's apprentice for a brief period of time before Kyle nearly fell to the dark side.
Damn it. All right, Beau, any ideas?
No.
You're a Star Wars freak. You love this shit.
Well, freak. I mean, yeah, but I'm not like the encyclopedic knowledge guy, you know?
Wikipedia. Yeah.
I don't think this week's is easy, so I will help you there in that I actually do think this week's is a little bit hard.
So hang on. So Buzz,
Yeah.
There's a statement here where it says while he would go on to become a Jedi Knight, aren't there no Jedi Knights post dissolution of the Jedi Order?
No, he's still considered a Jedi Knight and eventual Jedi Master. And if you want to get more literal about it, he becomes a Jedi in the game literally titled Jedi Knight.
Oh, shit.
I guess we're going with Legends continuity because I thought Luke was like not into that shit. But
Okay.
Oh yes, because he only exists in Legends.
All right.
Cassian Andor is essentially Kyle Katarn for modern continuity.
Here's a buzz, and that based this on nothing. I just think it might be a trick, but the form of Cassian Andor's blaster in Andor, the MW-20 Briar pistol, says it's based on the K-16 Briar pistol used by, you guessed it, Kyle Katarn. That's not correct. There's no pistol. Kyle didn't use a pistol. Oh no, he did because he shot shit.
He did. Yeah, it's your default gun. The K-16 Briar pistol is the default gun in Dark Forces.
Poop.
It's his default gun throughout the game. It eventually was put into Disney canon as the MW-20 Briar pistol in Star Wars Battlefront, which is what Cassian Andor fights with.
Really? Wow.
Yep.
All right. I don't know. Beau, you got any others?
No, this is.
Was it? I got one. Ding. It's not
Okay.
called the Dark Trooper Project. It's called the Faded Gray.
Faded Gray Project.
I don't know what it is. Is that a fake name, Dark Trooper? That's my take. Fake.
No, he does fight against a Imperial Dark Trooper project. Now, I will say, I did capitalize it. Whether or not the project was called Project Dark Trooper, some super lore nerd may eventually prove Scott worthy of half a point, but not what I'm looking for.
Okay. I mean, to assume that the capitalization, if it was an official project in the Empire, probably capitalization is good, even if it was.
You guys are going to be so annoyed when you find out what it is.
Oh,
it's
I got
real
it.
stupid.
Wait,
Okay,
released
yeah,
on?
go ahead.
It wasn't released on PC. Wasn't it released on Nintendo 64?
No, this
no,
this
it's
was
a
definitely a
PC
PC game. That I knew.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, maybe it came out later.
But
Are you
then-
thinking of
What was the 64
Shadows of the
game?
Empire
Shadows of
with
the Empire,
Dash Rendar?
Yeah. Shadows of the Empire was great, and is it N64 only? That never went anywhere else, did it?
Yeah, there was.
No, it
yeah,
came
I
to
remember.
PC as well.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know that.
I think maybe even Dreamcast,
Oh my gosh, I don't remember that at all.
but it definitely came to PC.
Okay, last thing I'm going to check. Oh, I think I got it. It's not the 3D. The 3D engine isn't called the Jedi engine. I think it was the build engine. I don't think that's correct. So I'm not sure the exact engine was used, but they did not call this the Jedi engine. It was a engine they used from something else.
Scott, what a good guess. Wrong. They created their own engine. They called it the Jedi engine, and Dark Forces 2 Jedi Knight was built in the Sith engine, as a matter of fact.
All right, I thought it was the build engine that they used for stuff. Damn it! I'm all out, Beau. You got anything else?
No, I don't. I don't think I know anything.
All right, we're both bad. We're getting zeros.
Okay,
this week.
like I said, this one was a bit of a trick. It's kind of mean. The issue with this is that Kyle Katarn does steal the Death Star plans. That is true. He does not steal it at the end of the game. It is actually the first mission of the game.
Oh, man.
Essentially, the game's prologue is stealing the Death Star plans. The rest of the game is going after the Dark Trooper project.
I would never get it. I love that game, but I don't remember any of the plot points from it.
I thought maybe if you played it, you'd at least remember the first level, which was stealing the Death Star plans. That was what the hope was.
Well, we don't. We never want these to be simple or easy. So I'll take your challenge and take the hit.
Yeah, no, it's good. You just keep doing you.
Yeah, keep pumping these out.
I would also accept if somebody wanted to really say, you said he had notable Jedi apprentices like Jaden Core. Jaden Core is a created character for Star Wars Jedi Apprentice. How can they be notable when you don't even know anything about them?
Oh, we would have gotten
fair.
We would have gotten
I
half
think
a point
that's
there.
fair, but it's technically true.
Okay.
So
all right.
there you go.
All right.
That's it.
Andor had an
All right,
effect,
well,
is what we've learned here.
else.
You were inspired
I was.
by all this business, and that's fantastic. All right, let's get to our weekend gaming, everybody. Let's see, what do we got here? Oh, goodness. Let's get to Tainted Grail Fall of Avalon, a game I've been playing for a week and some days now. And I am still, I'll just say, I don't have a ton to add to this. I really want to hear John's take on it because now he's playing it a little bit. But I am loving this game. It keeps taking me to places and moments and scenarios and interactions that I don't see coming. Visually, while I'm not going to sit here and claim this is the most beautiful game I've ever seen, it isn't. It's like in some ways it's a little janky. It keeps bringing me to places and things in the world that I'm just like, what the hell am I looking at? And it gets weirder and weirder the deeper I get. So I'm loving it. I don't know, 15 hours in, something like that. I want to see this one through. That's how much I'm enjoying it. And I will say I found the coolest necromancy set, but it's from a lady that I killed. And it's fine because the stats are awesome and they're great for my magic build. But it all looks like I'm trying to dress like a belly dancer lady. So I look, and I'm a dude. I should mention that.
Sometimes necromancy requires a little fashion.
Necrofancy, exactly. So
Yeah. Oh my gosh, necrofancy is so good.
We've coined a new phrase.
It should be a fashion magazine read by necromancers.
But you should see this. My guy's walking around with a giant fireball in this hand ready to launch. In this hand, he's got this electro ball thing. I got a bow in case I want to use it. I'm specced all weird. And I walk into a room and I just think, how awesome must I look? And then I'll go third person camera and go, oh shit, you look like Genie. Or what I Dream of Genie a little bit right now. It's fine. It's not a problem. That game is amazing. I love every second of it. I'm having a ball. So John, tell me why I'm wrong or that you agree.
Oh, and I'm going to tell you why you're wrong. I haven't spent enough time with this game to really make any big statements about it. I just bumped it up to shared play because I thought it would be weird to let you talk a bunch about it and then cut to me later and go, I want to also mention that I played it. But in a way, that is basically what I have to say about it. I didn't really make it out of tutorial dungeon.
Oh, you're early then. Okay.
It didn't grab me immediately. Not a condemnation of the game. Like plenty of these games, especially if it's going to fall into the Elder Scrolls territory or Fallout territory, stuff Bethesda makes. Not that this was made by Bethesda, but it's certainly in that wheelhouse.
It is in that vein, 100%.
I mean, you start in a prison, like they certainly are keeping with tradition. But most of those games don't immediately grab me, and this one is proving to have good company because it was in the same boat. I got to a spot where I was fighting undead. I was running around holding my daggers weird, which I found very distracting.
Wait a minute. Because they're crossed? Is that the
Yeah, because I'm running around like...
it's like, look at me. I noticed that too when I was dual wielding, but I'm not doing that anymore.
I was like, I think this looks stupid. Why am I running like this? But again, sometimes I hesitate to say things like that because I know it's kind of funny, but also I don't want people to think like he quit playing a very serious game because the guy holds daggers weird. you're not wrong, but also just like I'm in a weird limbo. People have said I was going to be in this situation. I was all the way in on Claire Obscure. It's really all I want to play, despite having beaten it and 100%ed it. It's all I want to play right now for the most part when I think about playing games. And it's just been very hard for me to get into anything else.
I get it.
And Tainted Grail was sort of the first victim of that. Of like me playing something and going, this isn't the thing I want to be playing, which I think we all have that come up every now and then, especially when we feel like we should play something for the show. You give something a little bit of time and you're like, yeah, I can kind of see it, but I'm not feeling it. That's kind of where I was with this. I got to where I was just poking undead guys and I was like, I think I need to come back to this at a time where I'm wanting to engage with this kind of game, because I wasn't reading anything, I wasn't paying attention to the lore, and at a certain point you have to realize I'm not giving enough to this game, so I can't be critical of what I'm getting back from it because I'm not putting myself into it.
I get it. I do that all the time. That's why I haven't picked up the Elden Ring thing, because I just know I'm not in the mood for it, and I think that's an okay thing to have as a player. It's like, it's just not my thing right now, and I totally get that. I think that there's stuff in here. I've gotten to some story bits and things that I just go, man, John would love this. I'll give you an example. I was running around and I found a corpse just laying near a cliffside, just laying there on the ground. And I hadn't killed him and I wasn't sure why it was there. And I click him and he's loaded with loot. And I'm like, oh, look at all the shit this guy's got. So I stole some of his cheese, a few other things, but none of it.
Dead man's cheese?
Dead man's cheese, exactly. That stuff keeps forever in this game. There's cheese everywhere. But anyway, I'm digging all this stuff out of him. And most of it's crap. It's just clothes and stuff. But I see this ring and it says the Ring of Undying. And I look at the...
It didn't work for him.
I inspected it and said...
That sounds like a necrofancy item.
It is a little necrofancy. I look at the description. The description says, never take fall damage. I'm like, I've taken a lot of fall damage. I would love to jump out of some of these towers and not take any fall damage. And I'm looking at the ring, and then this game does this this happened to me a few times. It hits me, and I go, this isn't a magic ring. There's no affixes on it. It's gray. It says on it, the inscription is, you will never take fall damage. I then get out of that menu. I look down at the ground and I realize this is a corpse of a guy who believed whoever sold him that ring. And he jumped from this cliff right. Then I looked up. I could see where he jumped from. I could actually run around and be there. And he leaped to his death because he thought he got sold a bill of goods that said he had a ring that would never hurt him if he fell.
You didn't fall for the trap.
I didn't fall for the trap. But also, I love the story, the subtle storytelling they gave. Oh, I didn't try. Well, I could. You save up there and just jump and see what happens. Can you save anywhere? I didn't. But I love that kind of storytelling. The stuff that's happened without me being there that I kind of fill in the blanks on. This happened with that weird hole I went into to see why, if I could loot the corpse I saw in this hole. And I got really deep into this hole. I'm like, man, I'm not going to be able to get out of here. And I get to the corpse. He's got nothing on him. And then I realize, oh my gosh, that's why he's here. He came down here, and I look up, and I'm done. I'm gonna die. I had to kill myself to live, or reload a save, one of the two.
I had to kill myself.
I
to live.
love that kind of stuff. That's just like this subtle, like detail-y thing that you just didn't expect to find in the while you're running around in this game, and that's happening to me a lot, and it's really just getting me where I live. I'm loving it for all of those reasons. I'm loving it for. The Bethesda elements are there for sure, but it really is trying to do its own thing on top of it. And that's working really well for me. Mostly what I love is I feel like I'm seeing stuff games don't normally show me. Some underground things where I'm just like, holy shit, where does this go? And then I go in there and go, my gosh, this place is losing it. And I've killed this. Oh, I was out running around in a field full of hay that I just thought was like somebody's growing weed out there. Right? Or a wheat field, I guess, not hay. And I'm running through this place, and all of a sudden I hear this, and I turn around. I'm like, what is that? And the hay is so high, or the wheat is so high, I can't actually make out what's coming toward me. But something, and a bunch of things around it is coming at me going, and a little bit of weird noises. And I run out of the field because I can't see anything. And out of this field comes this giant 9.5, 10-foot tall elite monster to kill. And he's made out of straw and wheat. He's just a big, like a wheat person. and he's called the Straw Father. And I had to like take down the Straw Father, and he was really resistant to different kinds of magic, to swords. He was getting damage, but not a ton. And I finally hits me. I'm like, I think I'm supposed to maybe try fire with him because he's made of dry wheat. He's the Straw Father for literally. And I have my raised skeletons fighting his minions. Those were called it's like wheatlings or some shit name. And they're all dying and doing fine, but he's coming after me. So I pull out my bow that has fire arrows. I didn't have a fire spell at the time. And I fired a fire arrow at it, and suddenly this thing just goes, whoo, and now he's on fire for the rest of the fight, and he's ticking down really fast, like a dot on him from the fire. And so it was like this moment of really great emergent gameplay where I figured it out based on this thing is called the Straw Father, and he's made of straw. So, hey, fire's probably pretty good there. And it does have different damage types and weaknesses and strengths and that kind of thing in this game throughout the thing. That was a really amazing moment. And he dropped some rad shit that I got to keep. So, and that was just a random encounter. That was just me out in the field somewhere. And I took his head. Oh, that's the other thing. I got to take its head back to town. They gave me a bounty for the head. It was like $3,000 worth of gold. Just all this like great stuff like that. I actually love this game. I think this game is super, super rad. And I do think there's a time where you'll be in the mood for this sort of thing and that you may gravitate there. I don't know for sure, but I'm really liking it a lot. So that was my time in Tainted Grail.
No, I think I will. I think I'll get into it too. I think that there's another problem working against it, which is I also am fully aware how close to beating Avowed I got, and that I need to get back and finish that game. And it's like sitting on my docket is not one now, but two of these, and I'm like, oh god.
Yeah, if you don't,
I gotta get through so much.
And you're not even counting your Oblivion remake that you got. So there's another one. You got a third one sitting there. Yeah, there's that too. I agree. I've got the same feeling at those same games, and I find myself just so drawn to this one that I just feel compelled to see it through. The King Arthur bits are like they really take the lore to crazy places. That is not just Arthurian lore the way we think of it. Like you're never going to think of some of his Knights of the Round Table the same again after you see what they are in this game. It's just like, what the frick are we doing? It's so cool. Anyway, I absolutely love that it exists. I love that it came out of nowhere, and I love that it's doing well because I would love to see whatever these guys do next. It's a very cool game. All right, I will get into a game I've almost beaten, if you can believe it. Partly
Ghost of Tsushima.
Part of it's because it's short. It is definitely not Ghost of Tsushima, although I would love to beat that game and will one day. I just need to do it. But here you see on your screen Mickey Mouse. You may be familiar with Disney's Mickey Mouse.
No, we're going to get sued.
Mickey. Hi, Mickey.
This I hope not. This is a game called Disney's Illusion Island starring Mickey Mouse and his friends. And it is a 4-player co-op if you want, but really you just play it by yourself if you want to. But it's kind of an extension of those 90s Illusion series of Mickey Mouse Disney games that featured Mickey Mouse, and they were great side-scrolling platformers. This is based on the art style that's a new thing on Disney. They have a new series on Disney of shorts, and it looks like this. For those just listening at home, you'll have to kind of go look it up. It's kind of a mix of old and new. Kids like it a lot. I think it's pretty good, actually. I've watched some of it. But the game itself is a Metroidvania. And I went into this thinking, I'll probably have a decent, fun little time with this. Pop and Fresh gave me the code, and I was like, yeah, I'll play this game. It did well on the Switch, where it was a year ago. This is now finally on PC. The reviews were really good, and I just thought, well, let's give it a shot. I'm sure it's delightful. I like those old games. Let's see where this takes us. And I got so into this game. This is such a fun, sweet little game. I'm about 5 hours in. I think I read somewhere I've got maybe 8 or 10 hours total of gameplay to deal with here. And let me show some actual gameplay, because right now he's just talking to people. Here we go. So as you can see, you got abilities like a double jump. It's all the stuff you know, right? Like Metroidvania stuff, it's all in here. You play a bunch without the double jump, and you realize there's areas you could get to if you had it. So what do? You keep going until you get an ability, and you're like, oh shit, now I can double jump. I can go to those other places. And then you're also like, well, wait, now there's these places that look like I should be able to break these, but I don't have a way to do it. Well, later on, you'll get a way to break those. And so on, like new weapons, new abilities, that sort of thing. Although you don't really have weapons in this. It's more evading enemies, but it's really fun and delightful, and the music's crazy good. I'm gonna play a little of it here. You just get a taste. It's low key one of my favorite soundtracks of the year, which sounds weird, but I really like it. Very orchestral and stuff. Anyway, I'm way into this. This is like a really good game. I've been playing it on Steam Deck and desktop, and if it looks like it should run fine, that's because it's not really pushing too much in terms of technology or anything. But the puzzles are challenging and interesting. There's different levels of difficulty. There's a lot of hidden area stuff going on. Oh, I love this. When you go to the mailboxes, your checkpoints, and they always have a little beard of smoke on them and cobwebs. But then you get there and it clears it. And it's like, I haven't seen Mickey or I haven't seen a living soul in years. So now you're a save point. Dumb stuff like that. Anyway, just a fun thing where I just feel compelled to keep moving, and I don't get bored. Do you think
that this game is kid friendly?
Very. I think it is kid friendly, but also I have some questions about whether the challenge is too much for. I don't know what age is the right age for this. I think probably a 10-year-old is your target in terms of like getting it and understanding that this is a precision platformer in a lot of ways. These puzzles require some thinking. It's not just run and gun. This isn't Sonic.
But it's co-op. How does the co-op work? Can you have like a little tag along?
Oh yeah.
Like
100%.
Like if I gave my son a controller and I was like, all right, come on, we're gonna go platform together.
He would be able to do it, because the hard parts you could do, like the thinking bits, the stuff that's just more critical thinking, you could do for puzzles and stuff. But all he would have to really get is the basics of, now see, when you jump here, you land on this platform, and then come follow me, and then you show him how. Like, all that stuff would work great. I think you could play along, actually, really well together.
Awesome.
You can have up to 4. You can also, if you're playing alone, if you just are like, I don't want to be Mickey anymore, you can at any time come back in as any of the 4 characters, Minnie, Mickey, Goofy, and Donald Duck. And he's not wearing pants, so...
Yeah.
Donald
Duck's the best.
He's pretty great.
That's who I want to play.
Any creature that doesn't wear pants is okay in my book. It does ramp up in difficulty, but it never feels like it's being disrespectful of you or your time. This just really surprised me, and I don't know why I should be surprised. I was told it was good before I played it, but I guess I don't know. I've played enough Metroidvanias in the last few years. I feel like I've kind of seen it all. And this just is nice. Oh, and it has fully voiced cutscenes and a bunch of like interactive cutscenes, and it's just a real good little package. I think it's neat. So anyway,
nice. Very cool.
Some people have said, this should be more of a discount game, and I'm not sure I could tell you how much it is. I think it's $24, but it feels like that's what you should pay for this, is about $24. So I don't know why people are having beef about that. But anyway, it's on Switch, it's on PC, and I think this week it's also on Xbox and PlayStation. So pretty sure you'll be able to get Illusion Island for anything you play on. All right.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's a cool game.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. Disney's Illusion Island, to be exact. John, what else did you get up to? Oh, I should mention a couple quick things. Farm Together 2 is out now in full 1.0 mode. So for all you farm nerds and chore cores, that thing's out. And then Shapes 2 with a Z put up a huge update, massive update that includes a whole bunch of like additions, quality of life stuff, performance add-on stuff, like really cool update. I mean, I can tell they're getting close to release. So if you've been holding off, they have it on sale right now. It's like 30% off at the moment. Shapes 2 is my favorite of the automation games, and it's still just an early access, and I think it's still amazing. I wiped my save, so I was a little sad, but that's what you expect from early access, so it's fine. But anyway, huge update. Go check it out. All right, John, what'd you play this week?
So I went on a bit of a journey this week, as you can tell from the Dear Martha and pre-show talk and all of that. I watched Andor, and it awakened in me. It stoked the fires of rebellion and flame. And so I was feeling the need to play Star Wars, but I kind of took a weird journey to get there. So a couple things first, I'll actually go in reverse order for the most part. In Discord, everybody was talking about Sekiro one day. I guess Claire Obscure has gotten a lot of people to go back and try Sekiro. A game with a real tight dodge and parry mechanic has gotten that game a lot of attention.
It's a funny path to trace.
Yeah,
different.
people being like, man, you know what? I can dodge and parry. Let me go play
this turn-based
Sekiro.
game makes me want to play a brutal dodge parry game that's not turn-based.
It was pretty fun.
So people were getting into it, and somebody said, I was actually talking about watching Beau play Elden Ring, but because I said it while Sekiro talk was going on, somebody said Sekiro is going to humble John, which I took as a challenge. So I was like, well, I'll play a little Sekiro. And I liked it, but I wasn't playing it because I wanted to play it. That's always a problem when you come to a game because somebody said, nuh-uh. And I started playing the game, and I was like,
the whole ass game.
Yeah, it's huge.
yeah. I was like, I'm not feeling this. So then that led to I should play some Star Wars business. And I started playing the Dark Forces remaster that came out, which I have played and talked about on the show before. I don't have anything new to say because I didn't make it any further in the game than I did the last time I played it. So I've nothing to add except that seems like a very good remaster of Dark Forces.
I need to play that. I meant to grab it, didn't. I'll wait for a sale, but I do want to play it. I love that game of the day.
So, check it out. Night Dive doing work. They're continuing to keep all these old games alive. Some games that I did spend a little more time with. We already talked about Tainted Grail. I will very briefly, this actually should have been in the lower one, mention a game called Islands and Trains, which is a cozy game.
A trains
It's
game.
basically a game where you create little dioramas for trains and islands. Go figure. And I got it because I thought my son would dig it because he likes trains and he's always, when we're playing games, he's like, make stuff, do this, do that. He did not care about this game. So I did not spend a lot of time with it. I was like, don't you like making the islands? And he's like, no. He just flat out told me, he's like, no, I'm not having fun. I was like, okay, we'll go do something else.
Is it a bit like those? There's been a real rash of these lately where you just sort of, they're diorama builders, really, right? They're not really games. It's kind of like that, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
I like those. They're fun.
This one, I think this one needs some.
Or is it just playing trains?
It's just building. It's just building and playing with trains, which is kind of cool. It's kind of what I want.
Yeah.
But also, I think this game might need a little bit of work. It kind of was a little bit telling that this game needs some attention when I booted the game and I immediately unlocked 4 achievements in the game because the main menu does a randomly generated level, and it gave me the achievements as if that randomly generated level was me playing the game.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, well, that's not a great first impression of the game, is here's achievements because some randomly generated menu gave it to you. So that was weird, but it's fine. I'll come back to it and mess with it on my own time. But I thought that was something my son would like, and he did not care. A game he liked a lot more, although was frustrating to play with, as he wanted to go wild and crazy, and I wanted to not spend all my campaign money on his wild whims, is Spraypaint Simulator.
Oh, yeah.
This was gifted to me from Poppin' Fresh. Thank you, Poppin' Fresh. So this is like Power Wash Simulator in reverse.
Yeah.
It plays exactly like Power Wash Simulator. You do the exact same thing as Power Wash Simulator, but you do it backwards.
Yeah.
And if you liked one of those, you will also like this.
Do you mask everything off? Is that your job in this game, is to tape off stuff, or no? Do you do any of that?
You do, but
Okay.
they've done a very simplistic version of it. So
Okay.
it's like you do have to buy the tape and the paper, and then you just go up to something and you just go, it's like, hey, mask this wall? And you go, yeah. And then it just goes and does it.
Okay. That's probably good because that would be meticulous. It's a pain in the ass to do.
Yeah. Like all that stuff has been quick and gamified. It has a creative mode where you can get in and just kind of go wild with what you're doing. The base campaign stuff is all very expected and just like, they want this wall pink. Okay, so you buy the pink, you spray it pink, like it's chore core.
Yeah.
But, if you're watching something on another screen or listening to something on another screen, you will be able to give it a lot of attention while playing this game.
Nice.
Which is basically what I did. Another reason I was kind of looking for a Star Wars experience, though, is last week we talked about this resurgence of Battlefront 2. That game was really having a big moment again.
Yeah.
And I decided to install it and play it. And Battlefront 2 is still awesome. But it is a reminder, getting in and playing it, that we need a new Battlefront. EA, I know you don't understand how video games work anymore.
True.
They used to know. They used to know how to make them. It's weird now.
I know this is confusing to you. Let me give you a tip. Make Battlefront 3. I know you were, and you canceled it.
Yeah.
Start again.
Yeah. This game has been out as long as the Switch One. That's when this came out, 2017. And that's great. It had a nice long life. It had some bumpy beginnings, but it's time for something new. And I don't know why they don't.
Yeah, it's still awesome. Again, dealing with the launcher, that bullshit. Like it wants to put on the EA app, which we all know is Origin by another name. It wants to do all that crap, and that's all fine. But then once I was actually in the game playing it, I was like, man, this is a fun game. It looks so good. It sounds so good. I loved running around as, super battle droids and stuff like that. It's just fun.
I like this review from Turtle, where he just says, I hate Leia Organa over and over for an entire review.
Apparently had a time.
Yeah.
It's a thumbs up review, though.
Yeah, it is a thumbs up review, though.
I think
it's a very
it's
good game.
because her heroic mode is probably pretty brutal. Because that's the thing, right? You can become these hero characters.
Yeah, as you play, depending on how you do, you unlock points, and the more points you spend, you can get into more bigger name lore characters. So like on the low end, instead of running around as a Roger battle droid, you get to be a super battle droid. But then if you want to spend a lot of points, you can get in as Darth Maul. And if you're really good at the game, that feels awesome. If you're really bad at the game, you feel bad that you tried. And
sorry.
Rollins,
Oh, jeez.
just listen to it, though. Just listen to it.
I mean, it's pretty cool.
The Clone Wars have begun.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
The Clone Wars
It's so
have begun.
good. It's so good. Just make Battlefront 3.
Yeah, what's the holdup, guys? Actually, wasn't there a whole thing about that where a bunch of the ex-devs were like, we'd do it if we could. It was looking good, and then EA swooped in and pooped on it, or something like that. There was some talk that maybe they'd
Yeah, it got canceled, and you never know. Like I know Disney is a rough partner for these things.
Yeah.
When you listen to the horror stories of Battlefront 2's launch, it seems like that wasn't just on EA. It sounds like that was a general misunderstanding between the two, and apparently Disney's very protective about what they'll put and stuff. And the rumors for Battlefront 3 was that they wanted to go crazy. They wanted to have like, what if Anakin was redeemed and you got a redeemed Jedi Anakin? Like, what would a good guy Darth Vader look like? And what does an Imperial Obi-Wan Kenobi look like? Like, all sorts of cool like stuff has come out of that. And we need it.
I agree.
And it's such a good game.
You're making me want to play 2 again. I may have to every time you talk about it.
It's really fun. It's really, really fun. Their conquest mode. I went in. I was being a sniper, and I felt really cool. It was a cool sniper droid, and it's just such a fun game.
Yeah.
And I feel like they hit their stride with it, if they could, I know this has burned me before when I said this about Diablo 4, if they could take what they've learned at the end of not Diablo, Battlefront 2 and make a Battlefront 3 with those lessons in mind out the gate, I think they could make something really awesome. So that's my hope, but
yeah, we'll see.
We'll see what happens. But ultimately, this led to one place, and two places. I was like, okay, great. I want to play a Star Wars game. Let me get into, and I was kind of like, it was kind of that mix of Sekiro, dodge, parry, like, yeah, let's get into that, and Star Wars. Why? There's a game perfect for this. It's called Star Wars Jedi Survivor. So I went into that and I was like, let's do it. I'm going to crank it up to the highest difficulty. Give me Star Wars Jedi Survivor on Grandmaster. Let's get into it. Let's do this thing. And then I learned that this game starts you off and does not do what every other video game on the planet does, tutorialize you on how to play the game.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
At least not on New Game Plus, which admittedly is my fault. Because I was like, yeah, let me do New Game Plus. Because, I want to fight with a lightsaber and pistol as soon as possible.
Yeah. This is John, for hell's sakes. What do you expect?
Yeah. So I was ready. And then I started just getting rocked because I'm on the highest difficulty and they're not telling me how to do anything. And it got to a point in the game where I didn't even know how to progress. Or no, I got my lightsaber and pistol out because I was able to put points in and I was able to pick my stances. And I didn't know how to change my stance. So I was like, well, I don't want a lightsaber and pistol right now. I don't know how to play this game anymore. So my thought was maybe I didn't get tutorials because I played on New Game Plus. Maybe I should just do a regular new game. And then I went, well, if I'm going to do just a regular new game, maybe instead of Star Wars Jedi Survivor, maybe I should start with Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order and play the first game from the very beginning.
Oh my gosh, dude.
That's what I've been that's what I've been doing is I've been playing Fallen Order. Now, Beau just asked, am I playing Grandmaster difficulty? I was.
Yeah.
And then I went, but what I really want is to play Jedi Survivor, and this is taking too long because it's hard.
Yeah,
so
your
now I'm playing.
Windows are really small. Like
right.
I hate that it gets hard. The way they make it harder to smaller parry windows. That sucks.
Yeah.
So now I have it set on an easier difficulty, just so I can get through the game, so I can get to Jedi Survivor, which is the game I wanted to play. I don't know what I'm doing. I've really wandered into the weeds this week, but I'm having fun, and that ultimately isn't that what it's about.
That's all it's about. That's it. That's all.
It's about having a good time. Yeah. So yes, it's been a long, weird path, and I'm not playing the game I wanted to play, but damn it, I'm having fun. And you know what? Those games are great.
Yeah, they are good.
Let me just go back and say, they're really good, and I think people are still sleeping on this series more than they should. It is such a fantastic pair of games, and a third one to come, we believe. Yeah. Unless EA cancels that too. Yeah. Freaking dipshits.
They've sold really well. There's no reason they shouldn't make these. They've been very successful. So
it's so good. So yeah, if you're like me and you for some reason are like, I need more Star Wars in my life, go back to Jedi Survivor, or dare I say Fallen Order, and see what you think, because they're fun.
Yep, they're good. And Respawn, they also canceled, EA canceled Respawn's Titanfall 3, and that sucks ass also. So take it to the grave, EA. Sell your IPs to someone who gives a shit, you weirdos. Anyway, there's that. Hey, Beau, tell us about your Game of the Year contender.
Beau doesn't branch out often, but when he does, it's for a Game of the Year.
Yeah, it's for Game of the Year, and apparently this one's a big deal. So look, what do you got?
This game kind of came out of. It didn't come out of nowhere because we knew it was coming, but Elden Ring was a game I played, and then I played a second time when the expansion came out. Like replayed it, and then I didn't finish the expansion, right? I was like, and I'm kind of Elden Ringed out. So here, upon hearing Nightreign, I was like, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
But they did a launch trailer that was hype as hell. Had Evanescence playing "Bring Me to Life" on it.
Yeah, it was very
And the
2003 going on here.
Yeah, there's something about the marketing and the way this game looks. Is like, this game looks bad. F it, I'm buying it. I have a feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So, guys, you guys remember Heroes of the Storm?
I sure do.
And they had these PvE brawls that were pretty fun. Where you
I've
could
heard
team up
there's
with
new
5 people.
cosmetics for that.
Yeah,
game
new
in the
content.
latest patch.
Yeah.
Sure.
But they had a PvE brawl that was really fun, where you could team up with 5 people and go do the map and do it over and over again.
Sure.
And then the fine folk, the makers of Raven's Watch, made a whole game that I've sang praises over the years. So I feel like the PvE Heroes Brawl transformed into a full ass game with Raven's Watch. So what if I told you the next evolution of this genre was a weird Elden Ring asset flip in the best way possible? This game is literally Raven's Watch, but also Elden Ring, and it is one of my favorite things I have ever played. I have logged 86 hours since our show last week.
Oh my Lord.
83 hours.
Jeez, that's like you could have played this stupid Disney game I played 8 times by now. That's wild.
So the game is essentially, if you haven't played any of the games I mentioned, you might think something along the lines of Helldivers or Risk of Rain. Like a session that's kind of roguelite where you go in, you drop in. You got 14 minutes to sort your shit out, and then it's time to fight a boss, and then you got 14 minutes, and then it's time to fight a second boss, and then you fight a really hard boss on day 3. But this is Elden Ring. It's the Souls-like. Everything is punishing. You have to manage your stamina, your mana, your poise level has to be up. You need to know how to use all the weapons from Elden Ring. And the fun thing about this game is that, like, so much of your inventory, you don't use 95% of it in Elden Ring. So it's really awesome that all the weapons are here and you have an excuse to use them, because you get to play as different classes. There are 8 characters in the game. They all play differently. They all have a passive, a skill that you can use on low cooldown, and an ultimate. And they make the game, like Elden Ring, like easier, but this game is tuned to be harder. So while you're feeling like more powerful and more like more capable than you would in Elden Ring, the game's still hard. It's 3 players co-op. I've been pugging people. It's been fine pugging with people. But the one thing about Elden Ring that's different from this is Elden Ring's like, okay, I got a corridor to get down. Let me take my time and get my way through. This is as if you were doing crack cocaine and playing Elden Ring. You run everywhere as fast as possible, and you try to do all the content as fast as possible, while it's still being incredibly difficult. So my feeling on this game is like, I play all the characters. They have a relic system, which is like, in Diablo, you get legendaries with affixes. So basically, you get these ways to you get random drops depending on how long you go, and they have specific things that customize your character. For example, as the bow and arrow guy, you get a hunter's mark that you have to do in melee range, and you can extend the duration with a relic, and you get more charges, so you can use it more often. On the Wilder, who's the default character, he has like a hook shot that it's kind of like Sonya's ancient spear. And sometimes if the enemy's very lightweight, it acts like scorpions. Come over here. It depends how heavy the enemy is. You can upgrade it so that you also can do a follow-up input and set your sword on fire and do a jump attack. So, this... it's just, I liked Elden Ring, but I was kind of okay with it. But I really like Raven's Watch, and the fact that these two are combined is one of the best games I've ever played. This game is incredible. It's so much
Such
fun.
a weird idea. How much of this does this play like a Fortnite style, like big open world, like, oh, it's all closing in on a thing?
The only similarity is the circle.
Okay.
So you have there's 2 phases where it phases into like a smaller circle, and then it goes smaller. And the time constraint really is just there. If like you just had free run of the map, you would of course get to max level and get the best gear all the time. But of course, the time constraint makes you pick choices. It also keeps the sessions reasonable. Like getting all the way to the end boss and finishing might be an hour to an hour and 20 minutes. So I like, it's kind of nice because it's like, oh, time to get up and stretch my legs. Like, I've been playing a lot of Heroes. I like a lot of games that are like, have built-in breaks. Even though I like long-form RPGs and stuff, sometimes when you're playing one you really like, you're there for 8 hours and you're like, oh, I need to move around. I'm in bad shape.
Yeah.
It's just an advantage to this kind of game, but I just find I'm using weapons I've never had to use before, and I would go back and become an Elden Ring god now because I've been doing magic and doing all kinds of other things. And it's all the same stats and mechanics, and that's both a good and bad thing. Where in Elden Ring, things are vaguely explained. That's also present here, but it's like an online game where you're trying to optimize, and it's hard to optimize when it's like, this item will let you give you stamina +1. You're like, well, what does that mean? Is it more stamina? Is it stamina regeneration? Well, what does it mean? And it doesn't explain. But you can see on the video you're showing, not that audio listeners can see it, that's the circle closing. And you take damage over time as the circle closes, and you need to get out.
Okay. And you're never fighting other people, or you are?
No,
Okay.
you're never, there's no PvP.
Okay.
So it's always teammates.
Okay.
So you have 2 teammates, and it's great. Usually someone takes the lead. If you're someone that's like, I don't know where to go next, you'll probably, if you're pugging, you'll probably queue with someone that's going to ping stuff, so you can just follow them around and help them out. You do got to keep up a little bit, though. Like I said, it's a fairly fast-paced game in terms of scrambling and not wasting time on little monsters and going to get the big guys and stuff like that. But, just follow people around. It's fun. Also really like the Birdman.
Yeah.
The Guardian is pretty cool. But no, this is the most fun I've had. The only thing I've lamented, I have played a game or two with Kyle and Garrett. They're into it, but they play a lot of games, so they're not available a bunch of the time. But those are the only games I've played with friends. Nobody on my friends list, apart from those 2, are playing this game, so I've had to only pug. It has a few drawbacks. One is, so it's the same map every time, but like randomized. Except you'll get these like events like the Crater or the Lost City or the Frost Mountain, and the other one is Scarlet Rot World, which is a terrible place.
Oh boy,
Scarlet Rot World.
What a happy day when that shows up, huh?
Yeah.
But like after defeating certain Night Lords, there'll be like an event where you get them for 4 or 5 maps, and then it seems to stop, and I don't know how to make them reoccur on demand, which kind of sucks. The other thing, too, is that each character has progression in the form of these memories, and they like give you objectives out in the game world, like find this merchant or just beat this Night Lord. And the queues right now are broken for them. Like the first remembrance is to beat the first boss as the Revenant. That's the doll girl, who's primarily a summoner. And when I queue up, I've queued for an hour and not gotten a match. Like they've done something really weird with matchmaking where I have to solo, which is fine if it's a little map objective, but if it's beating the whole thing, I don't know. I don't feel good enough. There are people who can solo this. So there's a solo game mode where you can play by yourself, and it's tuned for solo. And there's 3-player, pug or pre-made. And they didn't put duos in, which was like they said was an oversight that they skipped during development. So they're adding it, they say, by the end of the month. And they're putting there's 8 bosses to fight. They're putting hard mode of the 8 bosses in later this month.
Gosh, dude. What a weird thing this even is at all. It's such a weird thing, right?
Yeah.
For a game like what this is, and they're like, all right, we got all the expansion potential in the world. What do you guys want to do?
Yeah.
Let's make a weird freaking co-op
It's
thing.
not by Miyazaki. I think it's a different team, so it's not like... so it's also doubly weird where it's not like their star developer who's like behind a lot of the games is necessarily behind it. Yeah. So it really feels like like, can I just take all your assets and make a different game?
Such an odd
but
thing.
like still keep it very much like Elden Ring. Like it's all the stats are the same, all the business is the same. It's just, it feels like Elden Ring would have been a really good multiplayer co-op game, and this feels like almost an experiment in that direction, where like Elden Ring 2 might just have full co-op through the whole game, maybe based on whatever they're developing for this. Maybe. I don't know.
Just wild ideas. Just crazy.
It's a fun game to play with other people. You know?
I'll tell you this much. So, first of all, I've watched a lot of this game being played, and watching this game is a blast. Like, this is... one of the most fun games to watch other people play that I've like seen through Twitch and YouTube in a while. Like, it's super fun to watch people play it because it's very fast, very frantic. There's always something to do. Like, there's not a lot of downtime, so, you know, it's usually people scrambling around and doing stuff. And I think another big part of that is just because it's using this baseline language of Elden Ring, we all kind of, well, not anybody who's played Elden Ring, understands what's going on and can like take a quick look at it and just go, oh, I understand what they're up against. I understand what they're dealing with, because we all have this sort of common ground where it's like, oh, I know what fighting that creature's like. So having to fight this and that at the same time, oh, that's going to be rough. So it's been super fun to watch, and as a result, I got a little pulled in by the hype of watching people like Beau and others play it, and I went, I got to get this game, and I bought it. But Beau got excited, and I felt bad because
I saw it on my Steam list, and I went, "Oh shit, let's play!"
He's like, "Woo, we're doing it! John got the game." I refunded it, and I had already refunded it by the time he was like, "You got it." Because what I realized, now I don't know, there's still a part of me that really wants it. Like, I go back and forth, but I spent a bunch of money on games, and this was one of them. I did a big purchase and was like, all right, that's going to be my game budget for the month of June. And then I just started thinking about it, and I was like, I don't really feel like playing it right now. I'm enjoying watching other people play it a lot, but I don't feel like playing it. And I feel like by the time I play it, there's going to be a meta. There's going to be some expectations of like, hey, you get in and you pick this character, you better be taking these abilities, and you better be doing this, and this is how you run around the map. I don't know that it's going to go that way, but that's my concern. And that just doesn't sound fun to me. And so I'm worried that by the time I'm ready to pull the trigger on this game, the game that I'm seeing that I want to play isn't going to be the reality by the time I get to it. And I'm not going to enjoy it when I do finally get there. So that's what ended up making me refund it. But I think visually, like when I watch people play this, when people rave about it, I 100% get it. Because I have a near constant temptation to play this game because it looks so frantic. Like, they really took Elden Ring and they put in like the traversal alone in it seems so freeing.
Oh yeah, like
Elden Ring you go
movement
through so slow and methodically.
Yeah.
And this you're just like launching off of things because there's no fall damage.
No fall damage, and you basically have sprinting. Like, instead of mounting on the horse, you just get the horse's speed.
Yeah.
So it's really fun when you're fighting the dragon and he's breathing fire. In the base game, you're like, oh, let me mount up and get out of the way. But in this game, you're just like, you're just like hoofing it, and it feels badass.
Yeah.
Although it burns your stamina. So the worst is when you're like dodging a whole bunch of stuff running, and you get to the boss, and like, I'm going to hit you. And you're like, I can't hit it. And then the boss just takes his big old weapon and smashes you in the face, and you feel like an idiot.
Does it feel like you're
about that time he realized he fucked up?
Is it like what's the what's it called? The Sony game, we played the hell out of it. You drop down in the world, all for democracy.
Oh, Helldivers.
Helldivers.
Too.
Somebody I talked to yesterday said it feels like Helldivers to them when they play it, which is a weird thing to say.
It is like Helldivers, but the big difference is like the mechanics, like it's Elden Ring style. So
yeah, very different.
You gotta like know the more you know about the nuances of the game, the better it is. The better time you'll have, and some of that stuff takes practice. Where Helldivers, you have these crazy powerful weapons, but you're also a derpy idiot. Like that's part of the game, right? Like, it's just, oh, I blew my own leg off, oops, or dropping an orbital strike on your teammate. Like, there's no friendly fire in this game,
right?
and it is a little more like, it is intense. Like, John is not wrong to be worried about the meta, but I will say, like, the worst anyone can do to you is just leave the match, which for me it only happens, I think, when there's like, it's like going really badly and you're just like, whatever, there's no penalty for leaving the match. So if someone drops, you can drop. Like, you don't play this game in Helldivers. I play the game expecting to wrap the mission. In this game, you do not play expecting to beat the last boss. Like, I think as I've gotten better, I've completed definitely more, but a part of it's because I've got relics to upgrade my character. You should expect to die on the first boss. In fact, you should expect to like not even last a few minutes. It's a Souls like part of the deal is you're going in there. Like, I think it must have taken me 30 pugs before I beat the first boss or something like that. Maybe 20. Also, it's very early and people haven't optimized their game knowledge, but you know, you're not going in being like, oh, I'm going to complete this mission. You'd be like, I'll lucky if I make it to day 2, you know? So it is very different from a game like Helldivers in that way where, you know, you can definitely fail the mission, but it's like, there's easier modes and stuff. Remember, there's no difficulty in this game. There's just one difficulty. So it's trying to slow you down as much as possible and not let you win.
It wants you to, yeah, it's Elden Ring after all, in the end.
Yeah, and then it feels good when you get a team together and things go well. You get good gear and you ace the boss. Also, there's like tips and tricks for each boss to make them easier. But leveling is hard. So the max level in this game is 15. I have reached 15 once. It's a miracle if I get to 13. Like it's definitely getting runes is a tough thing. So you're always never powerful enough, at least in the pugs I play. And this game has bastard mechanics in it. For example, Murgat, like the Fell Omen, sometimes he just randomly appears and focuses one character only. When you're in like you're already fighting a magma worm, so you're just like, this fight is hard. I'm out of potions, and then the Fell Omen comes and he's like, I curse you. And if you beat him, you get a power that increases your attack power for every site of grace you visit. But if you lose, you take increased damage for the rest of the run. So if you get, and that it just sucks to suck, buddy. And it's not like the game's designed where it's like, oh, here's a quiet time, let's throw something at the player.
Yeah.
It can just have. I'm literally dying on the floor, and the Fell Omen will like show up, and you're like, why now? But that you expect that. There's also another curse. So when you die, you lose your runes and you lose a level. But the runes you pick up will get you that level back and have the runes you dropped. But there is a curse that can happen where these AoEs will just pop off constantly around you, and if they hit you, you lose a level repeatedly.
Jeez.
So you can lose, like, I think when it happened the first time, I'm having a good run. Let's go. There's a curse. And it's like, bing, bing, you lost a level. You lost. And then a little hint shows up, and the hint says, find the source of the curse. And I'm like, well, that's not helpful. To get your runes back.
Yeah, you're like Benjamin Button over there, losing all your life force.
That's part of the game is figuring out how stuff works, right? Like they're like, we don't explain things. You just better learn it. So apparently when they take your levels, the clouds go to the source and you're supposed to follow them. But I didn't know that. So that run ended in failure. I was like level 3 on night 2 or something like that. They're just like purposefully like cruel. They're not like, oh, will this retain players if we do this optimally? It's like, we need to kick players in their taint every now and then. So that's a good way of doing that. It's very masochistic. Wow. But they always offer a way out in the game. So you're never. It's just do you know what to do to get out or don't you? And even little things. There's boluses, clear like status effects. John will know what that means.
Yeah.
You have these little round balls that you eat, and they'll clear poison off you and stuff. Well, I played 70 hours, and I think nobody knew this. You get boluses, which nobody holds in their inventory because there's way better shit to hold in your inventory, right? Apparently, the effect is permanent. Like, you gain permanent increase to the resistance, so it's worth just munching anyone you find. So people have just discovered this after, like, 6 days of playing. Like, they don't explain things. It's not like, in this game, boluses function differently.
Typical From Software.
Yeah, so we're still learning stuff that has been staring us right in the face for like days that we have no idea how it works. So it's kind of a fun time to play where you're like, oh shit, like that's what that does.
Then that meta will set in. Oh boy.
Yeah, and there might even be secrets that people haven't discovered yet in terms of secret bosses or You know, like there's so many random occurrences on the map that are so cool that it does make the run spicy.
And it is the map from Elden Ring. You're in the same zone.
It's definitely when I say acid flip, I mean I can point at anything in this game and be like, that's an Elden Ring, including terrain, trees, except for some of the bosses, some of the mini bosses and some of the in-game bosses. I think they're pulling stuff from like Dark Souls as well, possibly.
Really?
Yeah, but definitely the end bosses, the Night Lords, are there. I mean, your hub is the Round Table Hold. That's literally the hub in Elden Ring. Like but it's like a different part of the time. It's a time when sleep was reigning, so it's like I think it's prequely.
Oh, it's set before. Interesting.
Yeah, but like time is a weird concept in the world of Elden, in the lanes between, anyways. But
that's just George R. R. Martin going, "It's a prequel. Give me my money." That's basically it.
Yeah, I don't even know if he contributed to this or not, but
probably not. If I had to guess,
I think the whole thing with George R. R. Martin is I think he showed up for a couple days and they've just been using it in the.
Yeah, it's all like
and all the marketing. And he's just like, "You're welcome, I guess."
That's mostly what they paid for. I think.
I had a weird dream, and I emailed it to Miyazaki, and now everyone's like, "You're amazing."
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
So at some point, do you get so strong that you can like one shot shit and be superpower guy, or no?
No. But the levels in like level 15 doesn't sound like a lot in Elden Ring terms, and it isn't. But in this game, you definitely scale hard. Like one level makes a huge difference. But no, I mean, you can be over leveled for some of the early stuff, like this abductor version that I'm fighting. I think I'm like level 10 here, and I'm pretty much solo it, and I can chunk it really hard, and I'm not too worried about it. But so you can over level that stuff, but it's not worth a lot of runes, and the drop isn't good. So the biggest thing that's always like a kick in the pants when pugs is when like. There's a great enemies, like there's a big gargoyle that's out there, and if you're too low level, your DPS will just be so low that you'll spend like 60 minutes and multiple deaths trying to take it down, and you won't even finish it because the Nightreign comes in and chases you out, and you're like, man, we just wasted 5 minutes on nothing.
Are you a bird man in this? You're Arakoa?
That's one of the characters. They're called Pinion Folk.
Okay.
And all the characters have like backstories and they're interconnected. So all of his people died out, and he's the only one left.
Oh man, no one wants to be the final pinfolk or whatever.
It was one of the other characters that killed them, the witch.
Okay.
That you learn in the story. Spoilers. There's one bird guy. The rest of them are all people, kind of. But you sort of get this feeling too that they're all just dead and don't realize it. Like like they're ghosts or wraiths or
yeah. This is all just like a memory, a dream.
It's a weird, depressing, afterlife-y kind of place. So who knows?
Yeah, I love it. That seems neat. I don't know if anyone.
I can't stop playing it. Like literally, I'm just like, if I'm doing nothing, I'm like, I could be playing Nightreign. Like if I gotta make dinner, I go make dinner. Gotta do the show. But if I'm just like free, then it's like it's Nightreign.
So is this? I was going to say your progression in Elden Ring proper has no bearing here. This is just a thing you play separately.
No, it's a complete standalone game. I understand why they made it standalone too. It really feels like it's its own thing. But it just everything hits. Like I don't think you could just make this game without having made Elden Ring and Dark Souls and all the systems in place. Like that's part of the enjoyment is seeing the weapons, implementing the skill you learn playing the other games. Like it's really something else. And it's like got me kind of hyped because I know they're doing a multiplayer-y thing for Switch 2, and I'm like, oh crap, is it going to be like this? Am I going to have to play that? Do I have to get a Switch?
Now you got to get a Switch, bro. Oh boy,
I don't know, but this game. My favorite thing, and there's more. Like there's free updates coming, and I got Fancy Boy Edition. There'll be more content coming. I know. They say Q4 2025. So
sure,
it won't be the last you hear about this game. Even though I'm almost 100% of the achievements and done everything there is to do.
It'd be cool if like an armored core mech showed up. Like or a Sakura, like a samurai boss. Just mix them up a little bit.
I think one of the characters has the Sekiro moveset. Like his character ability is to flip a cursed
character
sword.
referred to as the Sekiro character.
Really? That's great. I think that's freaking great. Move it all in, squish it around.
Yeah.
Kingsfield. Have some Kingsfield characters from 1994 show up.
Sure, why not? But like, this. I mean, it's kind of like you're not the lore is neat and everything, but it's not. I'm not playing this super for the lore, right? I'm playing it for the high octane action, which is weird to say in a Dark Souls game. Like it's weird how fast the game is. It's like, but it's good. I enjoy it.
Nice. Well, there you have it.
So
that's all you played.
That's for me.
Yeah,
that's all I played. Like I literally played that. I'll probably play a lot more of it next week.
The end of this year is going to be that for you. It sounds like probably something would have to really blow your mind.
Lots of time. There's lots of time left, and I didn't expect it. I really like Doom, but if I had to choose between the two games, I'm playing this game.
Look at you crawling. What's happening here? Tell me about this.
Death is awesome in this game. So except when you actually die, but when you go down.
Yeah, sorry.
When you go down, there's a bunch of memes going around about this. When you go down, so in many games, when someone goes down, you press a button and you tap it a lot or hold it for a while to res your teammate, right? In a multiplayer game.
Yeah.
That won't. Standing there and doing nothing will not work in a Dark Souls game. Like the boss will literally smack the crap out of you. So the way to res people is to hit them with your weapons.
Wow.
It's just you take your big hammer and you just smash them. Now you see there's 3 nodes.
Yeah.
Like I have 1 and there's 2 of 2. Basically, the more often you go down, the longer it takes to res your teammate. And like 3 bars, it's like just takes forever.
That's amazing.
So sometimes you'll want to save an ult. The Birdman has an ult where he flies in the air and does a bunch of AoE damage, and I can like res like 3-notch guys, like teammates if they're both down.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like it's just funny. Like there's memes going around of like showing like the guy who's the guy in Ragnarok. Is it Ariel? No,
Thor.
Atreides?
Oh,
no. Who's the guy in God of War?
Kratos.
Kratos, yeah. There's like I guess Kratos beating up a guy. There's so many memes. This is what it feels like to res people in Nightreign, and it's just Kratos beating this guy up like mercilessly forever. It's like never ends. There's a bunch of memes. Well, the memes have been great, by the way, for this game too on the Nightreign subreddit.
I like a good meme generator, so that's great.
This game is awesome. I didn't expect to. I didn't expect to be playing it, to be honest with you, and it makes me almost want to go back and finish Shadow of the Erdtree now.
Good Lord, this is how they get you. All right, nicely
done.
Really
good game. So maybe on a sale, you guys will dip your toe.
May get around in there. You never know.
I mean, I'm like it's 3 players. It feels like fate,
It does feel like whenever it's 3 players, I always do this when 3-player games come out. I go, oh shit, is that for us? Are we doing that? I always think that. And then schedules go.
I'm also like well educated in the game too, so I can be your guide.
Yeah, you're our guy on the inside. You're a Birdman. You can tell us what
you
you
can have 3 save files, so I don't have to play my OP character. I can start on the ground floor with both.
You're Jefferson or Shepard, or what was the name of the Arakoa in the D&D movie?
Jarnathan.
That's it.
Jarnathan.
That was an awesome movie, Beau. You should see it.
Yeah, I should.
Yeah, you definitely should. All right, let's do this.
That's a good question.
We have a email, or it's actually a text from Biggs. Sorry, I want to do this right.
Nope.
Biggs Tupid. Biggs Tupid, which I think is a joke about being big stupid. But anyway, he says this. Hey, Core Crew. Scott, have you checked out Cattle Country? It's Stardew. He says it's Stardew Valley as a Western. I have actually checked it out, and it's on my wish list, and I'm this close to pulling the trigger, but I just have had so much other stuff to play. I do want to play it, though. It looks rad. He says, also, a long time ago, you guys had a conversation about how Epic, or about Epic and how much top Fortnite creators make. You don't have to create maps. You can get a creator code, and mostly it just seems like guys that stream or do videos. They all have them. John, you can get one. Just people put in your code, and you can get a cut from the shop sales. So that's the thing, I guess. I don't know, John. You want to go into the Fortnite business? What do you think of that?
I mean, I give them enough. I should ask for more back.
A little bit back.
I keep buying stuff. They had a cool skin. It was a customizable Mandalorian skin for Fortnite. So it's just a whole bunch of different styles of Mandalorian armor and emblems and stuff, so you can make your own Mandalorian for your character.
That's
model.
great. I would want to put Grogu in my belly like Quaid from, or not Quaid, but the guy that goes Quaid In
You can't put them in your belly, but you can wear them on your back.
Oh, well, then we're halfway there.
And then you have to feel bad every time you get shot in the back. You're like, well, technically.
Yeah. Then he says, another thing, this is probably for John's wife. All right, wait for it. If you play on Switch, in the settings, you can use the gyro on the Switch when you aim down sights. I like it, and it's way easier for me to track my target. I don't know.
She's graduated, though. That would be a good tip, but she doesn't play on the Switch anymore. She plays on the PlayStation 5.
Oh, my gosh.
She's moved up in the world. That is why the PS5 is back there. Yep.
Oh, there it is.
That's what she does when we get up to some co-op Fortnite business.
Yeah, always a little tracer there watching, ever mindful. Yeah.
This season's almost over. It's a little sad because this season has all been Star Wars themed. It's a mini season. So it's been nice not to have to worry about ammo because all the guns are blasters and lightsabers and stuff. Like it's been really nice. I'm gonna miss it.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll come. That stuff comes around all the time with them, right? So look at some other event will come. Then finally he says, love you, Beau, but no specific comment. Love the shows. Biggs, stupid. So he called you out. Just had nothing to say to you particularly, you know. Do you have anything you want to say to Biggs to just as a reply?
I'll just say hello, Biggs, stupid. I hope you're having a great day.
It sounds so mean when you say it. Everybody's saying it sounds mean.
Well, his name is Biggs.
Yeah.
Last name Stupid.
It's his
Biggs.
name. He gave it to us, so we're not, we're just having fun with what he gave
I was
us.
also having that with Nightreign, because it's Nightreign, but you could also say Night Train.
Oh, Nightreign, like an old 70s Motown hit.
Mm-hmm.
Nightreign. Like that?
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what I was thinking about.
Just like that. Well, all right then. Great stuff today. Well done, everybody. Keep those messages coming. 10hams.com for both your texts and your voicemails. We would love to get more of those, please.
Not Tim Hams.
No, he's not around anymore. We don't talk about that guy. Old Tim Hams. Hams. Anyway, hey, also want to thank Patreon folks who support us. Patreon.com/core show. No new names this week, but that doesn't mean that there's not a reason to join up. In fact, you want to be a new name this week? You want to join up today? Well, it's a good day to do it because you'll get no commercials ever. You get pre-show content every week. And in the mail, you'll get monthly art. How about host specials? How about that? Oh, yeah, we're still waiting for you guys to do your Final Fantasy thing.
Yeah, we got a Final Fantasy one. I've got a Claire Obscure one I'm working on.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, where are we at right now? I need a recap.
I don't know who's up. Someone's up. I think
it's now a new month, so I think we all owe at this point.
We're getting to that point where everybody owes
What's
one.
the last month where we put one in?
It's a month ago.
I think we're a little behind.
We're about a month behind, is all. Because we had one one before this last month.
All right. We'll get you your episodes, listeners. That's on the way.
Yeah, they're on their way. Don't you worry your little heads. Frogpants.com/core for all other things. Oh, I didn't mention it. Patreon.com/core show. That's where you get the Patreon. It's all linked on the site, though. So use it at your leisure. Let's throw the mic to Grandma and have her recap the games we played today. Grandma, take it away.
Well, y'all want to know what the games was? This is what they were. It was Tainted, Grail, Fall of Avalon, Disney's Illusion Island, starring Mickey Mouse. I guess you need to know that for some reason.
Yeah.
Farm Together 2 was talked about. Shapes with a Z2 also talked about. So, you heard it. Star Wars Jedi Survivor and Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Star Wars Battlefront 2, Star Wars Dark Forces Remastered. That was the Star Wars section of the show.
Yeah.
Also Spraypaint Simulator, Islands and Trains, Sekiro, and Elden Ring Nightreign. And if I didn't say it, Tainted, Grail, Fall of Avalon, but I think I said
I think you did. You absolutely did. And that game's fantastic. Go play it because there's a giant lake of blood. Yeah, that's right. You heard me. Go swim in the lake of blood. Or the Blake of Lud, which I almost said. Anyway, that'll do it for us. Thank you all for listening. We'll see you next week for more. And tomorrow, our live stream, 3 p.m. Mountain Time at frogpants.tv. We'll watch and see what the people over there at this Games Fest have to say. Hopefully good stuff. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. But we're there for that whole bit. So be there tomorrow.
I'm excited.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Thank you all for listening. We'll see you next time.
Frog in Pants. If you're looking for something froggy smooth, find more at frogpants.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. We did it. That was pretty